I like when Kevin Nealon goes, you know, my dentist said to me, all right, open your mouth and you might feel a little prick in there. He goes, I better not.
I used to do it. A dentist having sex. You might feel a little prick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You guys should get together.
No. Kevin's is better.
Fred Wolf says, I went to the dentist. You could tell he sucks. He goes, now I'm going to have to take out 2 teeth. So what we're going to do is make an incision down your cheek. We're going to pry it open about 2 inches. Get in there and pull those teeth out. He goes, can I just open my mouth? He goes, well, I know the first way works. Cecily Strong is our guest today. See, these are bits. Dana got his teeth cleaned.
So what did you, I was watching Warriors basketball.
I saw the country
the
MAs.
CMT?
CMA. They're close.
Oh, what's the CMT?
I think that's a channel.
Oh.
But I think they won an award, too.
Okay. So you watched the CMAs.
So I watched the CMAs.
Okay.
And because I'm a little Joe Dirt, shit kicker, goat roper. But they were just on. And, my legs are always compared to Carrie Underwood. So my friend said her legs look good, but I know you both shave your legs. I think that's how it started. Anyway, so I watched, but here's my observation, 2 cents. They had on, here's what I saw, Megan Thee Stallion, Alanis Morissette saying You Ought to Know, and Gwen Stefani saying I'm Just a Girl, with some other country people. But I know they want to be inclusive, but honestly, just be the music awards, because you're having people from rock and roll. You know how these shows, like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame isn't rock and roll anymore? It's okay to do that, but you don't need to label it then. Just say it's the awards, or it's the music awards. And just say, if you're in music, we can all be up for an award, and just pick the best out of music. Does that make any sense?
Real country music to me, it was on the AM radio driving to Montana, and it was like, you're cheating hard, that was it. And now it's like, you're cheating hard. It's almost
now it's, give me the beat. Yeah, I'm surprised Diplo wasn't there. It's just, so that's a really smart observation. I say smart things all the time, but no one has a pen ever.
You're cheating hard.
Oh, the Mark Twain Awards reran. Mark Twain Awards is what Dana was at.
And
I
David.
was at, and we did that in celebration of the most celebrated man in comedy. Celebration.
I went on an hour 4. It was great.
Is that when you went on?
I don't know. 3. I was sitting next to Chris Rock and Pete Davidson, and every time a comedian would come up and kill, Chris Rock would go, I'm down to 2 minutes.
Yeah, because, you don't want to go late in the show because people step in your premises. Here's most of my premises. I
did it too. We all did it. I was the 11th comedian.
I was talking to the guy backstage, Stilson, the writer, and I said, I say Babu or something in this headline. I go, does anyone else do it? He goes, just Conan and Stiller. And Dana. And I go, well, that's most of the panel. Whatever. But we went out there and we really, I don't know what we did, but it was fun, right?
It was fun hanging out with everybody, seeing everybody. Marcy
they
Klein,
cut 90 minutes
Tim
of
Meadows.
It. You know that?
No.
They cut 90 minutes of the show, and it was only 90 minutes. So everybody went long. I'm the only one that went within my time. Can you believe it? And they cut
Didn't
4
I
jokes.
go short? Oh, and they cut me down, yeah.
They cut 4. I did under 5 anyway. Motherfuckers. Anyway, so that's cool. I don't care. Motherfuckers.
Don't you?
I do.
I think someone needs talk space.
Here's my joke.
Okay.
Oh, you want me to tell you?
You have a new joke?
No, this is the one I didn't.
Okay,
This one I got shit canned. I've done a lot of movies with Adam. Instead of listing them, just go to your unmarried uncle's apartment and look at his posters. That's harmless.
Which ones? Can we knock them off here?
No, that was the one. And the other one was in this woke PC world of comedy police, I can assure you the only person that would not win the Mark Twain Award is Mark Twain. I said he had some iffy material. And then fucking rat fucked me on that one. What about you?
Well, there's been a controversy.
You did a good Trump one.
I did Trump and being, arrested, and they cut it.
And what did you say? I like this.
I just said it was just an angle. Go ahead, arrest me, but you don't have to read me the rights because I wrote the rights. I can write a lot of things. I wrote the rights. With a lovely lady named Miranda. We got together. I said the right to remain silent. She puts it down. We did it for hours. I know how to write things. Everything you can use can be with you and against you. And I put it down. And you can say them to me, but I wrote them. I know them already. You're wasting my time.
Miranda's a very good friend.
She's a good friend. She's a lovely lady. What a beauty.
What a beauty. That's funny.
The Miranda rights. There's a controversy involving me going around.
Oh, that's right. I read this on Twitter.
There's the real story. And it's kind of a sensitive topic. But after 9/11, I was shooting a movie called Master of Disguise. After 9/11, we took an appropriate time off and went back to shooting. And I was playing, if you've seen the movie, kids, the Turtle Man with a bald cap and a weird thing on my lip and a big green shell outfit on.
Well, let me tell you, Dana, the rumor was, because I saw it on Twitter and I sent it to you.
I want to hear the
Just
rumor.
to clarify what they thought it was. They said, rumor has it when 9/11 happened, you were shooting actively in the morning and you heard about it in your turtle outfit, which isn't even a real story, but they thought it was funny you had the thing on, and that's when you heard about the historically
What happened was
terrible
they
situation.
obfuscated it because I was in it all that day, and then they said we're going to have a group prayer about 9/11,
Right.
and I couldn't get the thing. I would have held everyone up for a half hour getting all that prosthetic makeup on. So as I remember it, there was all of us, everyone else, civilian clothes. I'm dressed as the Turtle Man with a bald head, and I'm holding hands, and I'm lowering my head and praying. I just thought at the moment, this is really strange.
It's very ridiculous. And also that even someone would repeat that dumb story that anyway, did you have your shell on or off?
If they might have gotten the shell off, but they didn't get the turtle head or the turtle lip off.
No, that's too much
Just
work.
couldn't have gotten it all off. But if it's outrageous,
it's contagious.
Yeah.
Now listen, if the shell should be you should be walking to the set and you go shell, and then someone comes on like Velcros it on. But if you have to on your back and people, you don't want that.
Yeah, the Turtle Man falls on his back. I can't even get up. I'm helpless.
Okay, Cecily Strong is one of the stalwarts.
She's a stalwart.
She's a great, solid 10-year hitter that's been on SNL for 10 years.
Came to
Just
SNL
left.
with Kate McGinnon and Adie Bryant.
Yeah.
And did her 10
Talked
years.
about her little squad.
Mm-hmm.
She talked about a little bit when Trump hosted. She talked about she does do a Lauren impression. Actually, I really liked hers.
She did a unique take on Lauren, and that'll be fun for you to hear. And she was extra adorable as a person. And we were able to put her in context. And, she had some heavy hitters around her, but when you go over her history on SNL and her incredible sketches, we break down. I mean, she'll do a character that's missing a tooth, but she's not missing a tooth. And I asked her the process of how you talk like someone who sounds like they're missing a tooth and have it sound real.
And British accent she went over.
Incredible.
She's also in these Verizon commercials, and I've seen so many. I think I was saying, I think there's a movie there. But we decided there wasn't.
And she's on Shmigadoon.
Shmigadoon.
So I wrote just a little, just before we throw to her, just a little ode.
Just a little. Let's give us a taste. He's got his guitar. It's a rockin' tune already.
She's strong. Cecily Strong. She's strong.
Okay.
Cecily Strong. She's strong.
Dude, no wonder
I want a song.
No wonder you went away this weekend and wrote that. Oh my God. Go. Hey, everybody.
Okay.
Whoa. It's happening. Everybody get off. Everyone off. She's here.
The thing about Cecily is she's always prompt. You'll find that she'll be on the Zoom a little bit earlier than when it was scheduled, like 35 to 45. Oh, sorry. Hi, I love your sweater.
Yeah.
Well, thanks. We're doing a similar themed look.
This is kind of colorful. It's the perfect puffer. That's David's. David has a perfect puffer. I'm in Northern California. It's freezing, and there's hypersonic river. There's never a rainstorm. It's always a cyclone bomb. So, but it's kind of nice
still
outside.
going? Is that still happening?
Oh yeah. We haven't quit. Northern California never lays down with this. They never quit.
That's true, I suppose.
I'm not apologizing for my hair, but I'm just going to say we're just going to deal with it on this.
It looks like a fashion choice. It's kind of hip.
That's what it used to look like.
I'm going to say 2 words right now about David's hair. Bad boy. Cecily, back me up.
Absolutely.
Bad boy, right? Unkept, ready to fight.
Bad boy hair.
Yeah.
And bad boys never go out of style.
Right. Bad boy lost his comb.
Bad boys never go out of style. So they're in style and they're going to stay in style.
By the way, just
forever,
so you know,
yeah.
Dana was saying it rains, and you're not in LA, I don't think, but it's raining always now. It's a new thing.
Yeah.
And you think with the taxes and everything, the only thing we get is good weather. Now we don't even have that. So when it rains, the weatherman goes like this. It's going to pour for 7 days straight. And then there's such a big drought here. Everyone goes, oh, good. And he goes, but it's not going to help the drought. Did you think that? And I go,
oh,
I did think that. And I go, no. See, it's funny you would think that, but the drought is getting worse. And I'm like, I don't think I know what a drought is then, because why is all the rain not helping? And they're like, it's nothing.
It's got to go underground, man. It's all about recharging it underground.
Right. But it was like, well, it's good to fill the ones overground too, I think. I don't know.
I don't know what's getting filled.
Celebrate the little wins, right?
I thought it was a little
yes,
win.
It was a little win. Shasta is a mofo. That thing is so fucking huge. And it's going to get so full when the mountains start to melt that they're going to have to release water. Here's my point. If it rains outside, I don't really have a point. I took a 1-hour shower yesterday just because it was raining outside. I go, how much could it hurt? Yeah.
I didn't know where you were going with that, but okay.
I'm so punchy and I have nothing, but at least I'll admit it ahead of time. Cecily, we're so glad you're on this show. Mm-hmm. We're so excited.
It's wonderful to be here. I just adore you both. I hope you know that. I think I told you both at the 50th, but I don't, or the 40th, I mean, geez. But I don't know if you remember.
50th is next.
The 40th, Cecily. It is Cecily, right? You say Cecily?
Yes, Cecily, yes.
I don't say it wrong. Okay.
People do say it wrong. You've been saying it right. I appreciate that.
I'm Dana and he's David.
Yeah.
No, it's Cecily is very hip. Cecily is like, works at a mall or something.
Cecily, I don't know about. Yeah.
Yeah.
When we did the 40th, aside from the excitement of it all and seeing everywhere you turn, someone was fun to see and old, new cast, whatever. She was assigned the thankless job of doing my bye-bye with me, which, the show was so thrown together.
It was not thankless. That was very exciting. I mean, can you imagine
was fun, though, right?
You were... Yes.
It didn't kill and get off the charts and win awards.
Well, yeah, just for a second for our audience, David used to do his first character that landed an absolute catchphrase, flight attendant, as you get off the plane, saying, bye-bye. Right? So then on the 40th, you two are in the sketch. Fill us in. What happened? How'd you get together? Where were you in the show? Hour 3 or hour 6?
We ended the Californians.
Yes.
And I actually have the picture of you and I standing there, I think with Bradley Cooper, but I have the little framed picture on my wall. Yeah, I love it.
You know what was fun about that was, I talked to Shroom Taker, Michael Shoemaker, and he...
Shroom Taker. What's the Shroom Taker with Michael?
His name sounds like Shroom Taker.
Oh, I thought it's like he deals in psilocybin. I'll just have a small amount, Marcy. Sorry. Anyway. So anyway, you guys did the sketch show, the Californians, and then at the end, you two were placed on the soundstage, kind of at the edge of their set, and did a goodbye. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
right?
It was funny because as Shoemaker, I asked Shoemaker, I said, what if, because this show is obviously so thrown together, no one cares. What if when someone's leaving a sketch, they just walk by and we go, bye-bye. And he goes, yeah, we could probably do that. So he talked to Higgins and then they said, you would be good for that. And then we stood there and I have a picture. I think it's probably is it from rehearsal or is it from the real show? I have one, I think, from rehearsal.
I'm not sure.
And
Hey, gang, let's put it on social media when Cecily's episode comes out.
Yes,
it doesn't matter. But it was fun because
Taylor
Swift was in it. So basically, Dana, it was very unorthodox. They do this sketch that's a big favorite sketch. And then when they're leaving, we just stand there for absolutely no reason and go bye-bye.
I remember it. I remember it now. Yeah, it's kind of meta or whatever that word means.
Yeah, it was fun. And Taylor Swift was in it. She was very tall.
She is very tall.
Was she swift in a way in her movements? Sorry, it's all I got.
Why do you ask that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe some subconscious connection. So anyway, Cecily, we've been watching all your cool stuff. I didn't even know where to start. We can go chronologically, but one thing that I did absolutely love as someone who loves accents is the way your British indiscernible character.
Gemma.
With the super Cockney. Like that is just music to me. I love
music to me ears.
I'm Gemma.
Would you give us just you don't have to do it. I mean, just talk through it in that, or just give us 3 seconds.
Well, I think you also have to make it feel like you have big teeth too. I think because I was watching a lot of a British reality show, but everybody gets their teeth done. So is it
Gemma Collins?
There is a Gemma Collins who is on the show that I was watching a lot of.
A slight overbite. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're talking around your teeth like that, sort of like that. So you have,
wait, I want to hear it.
It's just like you're talking around your teeth. There's a show called The Only Way is Essex, and it's sort of like that. And they do a lot of like American vocal fry almost.
Oh,
it's
so refined. I love that. I love that.
But I love accents too. It's fun for me. It's just what it sounds like to my ear. I feel like there's always a million comments. They're like, "That's not how that sounds." Which are the most fun people to be watching.
Yeah, the ones who are upset we don't sound like that. But you're teasing it out and making it a character. I mean, you're doing something lispy or something with your teeth.
Yes,
it's very gives you a little.
The S. It's almost like a little lisp because of the teeth. I think.
Is that a little? Who's the great actress? Olivia Colman, or she did The Queen. Is that the name of that actress?
Yeah, I assume so. Yes.
Let's say that's her name. She's on The Crown.
Close enough.
She has a little overbite. Anyway, I love that. So that's where we wanted to start.
Well, I appreciate
just fanning out.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm a fan, and Dana, just I just want to say, I also have a picture of you from the 40th. It was a huge deal. I think I was in my second year on the show or something. So it was
2014.
Yeah, it was very cool. I have a picture of you and Mike Myers and your Wayne's World get-ups, and I got to stand in between you two, and that was very exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. That night, when you're just say it's Billy Crystal, there's Steve Martin, Bill Murray, it was in the audience, there's Eddie Murphy, Tom Hanks, there's Donald Trump. I mean, it's just like
Keith Richards.
Everybody was famous that you looked at, so it was nerve-wracking in that way. That 40th, that darn 40th.
Did you get a +1?
I did actually to the party. I did.
What
was that? I don't know. Is that not?
No, I'm calling Lauren on the other phone.
Somewhere in the overflow room, the most, the toughest one, cast members. Some were put in the overflow room.
Rough.
Next year we'll have a net up top. There'll be no overthrow. There'll just be people in sort of like a loose circus net. They'll bounce around. It'd be like that thing of like they'll see the show. So I had
to go in there and get Rob Schneider.
I love the Lauren. Yeah.
You must do your own version of Lauren.
But I can't do it in front of like the best Lauren impersonator.
Everyone has different ones, Who was?
Yeah, everybody's
Andy
done it.
Samberg he does the quiet one. Bill Hader, just, it'd be really nice if like it was a good show. There's the quiet Lauren and right. I don't know. Everyone has their.
I like to imagine that I like to do Lauren when he's like laughing so hard at a sketch or something. Imagining that he really loves her. Oh my fucking God. Oh, fuck. No, they didn't. Fuck, shit. That is my shit. Him really going on.
Well, that's to that point. Lauren has he'll be very casual. If something hits him, and we've never talked about this, he goes into almost a convulsion or spasm. He has a laugh from 0 to 10, puts his head down. We've never talked about that. That is a really, really
good observation, because he does that at read through. If you can make him laugh and slap the desk or something, you're like, holy shit.
Oh yeah. And just to be clear, he doesn't say those things. That's what I know. I like to put that on him. Yes. But I have seen him a couple times in 11 years laugh very hard.
Yeah.
How is he? We were talking with other cast members the other day, and Lauren's Keenan. I don't know how these go in order or whatever. This comes out in 2026. Anyway, but Lauren's kind of amazingly, I'll say, sort of brilliant, passive aggressive, intentionally sarcasm to get you to relax. I'll get you started. Like, it'd be really nice if this sketch would really be funny. That'd be a good thing. Right. Those kind of statements, which Keenan said relaxed him, Huh. It either can relax or put pressure. I think initially it put pressure on me when I first got there.
Yeah.
I was just so fucking scared. But eventually I got used to his sense of humor, the dryness of just...
Dana, sometimes I remember I was behind one of the, where the sketches are. So if you walk in, for people at home, and behind the sketch is like nothing, and so I'm just waiting to go in with some goofy outfit on, and Lauren comes around the corner they're like 20 seconds, and then I'm getting nervous looking at my sides, and then Lauren walks with an Amstel light casually, and he goes, "You want to try tonight?" I'm like, what? And then he just drifts off, and I'm like, am I not trying ever? And then I botched the sketch because now it's in my head.
Yeah.
He has his style.
I think it's kind of Lauren being sassy, I think.
Yeah, he's very sassy.
Okay, Lauren. He's got his little dig in.
We had a sketch called Sassy. Remember, Dana, with Phil Hartman, who Cecily likes.
Right. You've read it.
Let's go back a little bit to your how Cecily Strong became Cecily Strong. We don't have to spend much time on it, but I thought it was very, very interesting. And you, amongst other people, have mentioned, or at least if this is accurate, Phil Hartman as kind of a true North Star. Will Ferrell did as well. And we all love Phil. And he was brilliant. So,
yes. Well, I also think, listen, I have so many, I feel like I've spent a lot of time with you both on the show, watching and really enjoy. There's so many people I love. And usually it's just when you say one thing in an interview, then it kind of sticks forever. But true. I mean, I was just a huge fan of the show in general. And I do think, I've played a lot of straight characters on the role. And I think he just is kind of like the such a great straight man.
Yeah, he'll take the lead if you need it, or he'll completely play the bass, so to speak, hold it down. You actually reenacted? I mean, did you you had an uncle who was a Broadway producer?
Yes.
Your mom and dad were kind of at a very young age, kind of saying, Cecily, maybe this is for you, or do I get that right? When did that dream occur to you?
I think I never for real had the dream, even at the audition. Was like, well, I don't want to say it out loud even, because this just doesn't happen, and I don't want to be disappointed if I got to audition, that I should be so happy that I got to audition. I got to be here. But I think I was when I was 3, I would just perform a lot around the house. And my parents were like, I don't know. And they put me in a drama class. I hope that's it. I hope that scratches that itch and it's not something worse.
Kids like it, and then you keep with it. I think every kid is we got into comedy in our house and everyone just liked comedy. But I agree with you that when you say you're auditioning for something, or when I start doing stand-up, you don't want people to go, how'd it go? And if you don't get it, they're like, ugh. And then they go, oh.
Right. Then it's like a bummer thing when you're like, well, I wanted to be happy about that.
That was the idea initially.
Well, the pressure keeps building because it's going toward 50 years. It was enough for me to even imagine I could be on it, but there was only 10 years before me. Now a cast member goes, okay, check out the history of the show before you audition. It's months of pouring through so many sketches, but I could not believe that's a very common theme for people, of being very humble about auditioning. My God, this is a dream.
Yeah.
And just some of the darkness of the people who it went asymmetrical and they didn't get it, and it's something, and then they've gone on and done great.
Right.
It's not the one lane to go, but for you, it was kind of.
It definitely, and certainly like at the time. I mean, and I'd done theater for a long time before comedy. And I really only got into comedy after college. Not that I guess like officially study comedy. I don't know.
I know, it's so weird.
Didn't count before. I get,
So you were in theater all the time. Then you got busted for pot, got arrested. Okay. So
Yeah.
You went to jail, you're a pot dealer, it says here.
I went to
a little
jail.
Some of
bit
these
of
are wrong.
a little bit of a rebel in those days, I guess, or or was everyone?
I think
smoking
kind of maybe that was just the thing in the year 2000. I don't know. But I was like I wasn't really a bad kid. I got good grades. I liked school, but then I also like smoked cigarettes and,
Whoa.
I was like in with the theater crowd.
Oh.
That's not like the cool kids at school.
No, not at all.
Well-
You do smoke a good cigarette, just but
I
you
know.
don't light it, right? With
With Kathy Ann.
Yep,
Yes, I
Kathy
was a
Ann.
smoker for a long time. And that's always the thing I look at when I watch people smoke on camera. So you can tell, I've always feel like the people who have never smoked always go like,
That's
put
what I
like
do.
their whole hand.
and then and breathe
I
in.
put all the cigarette and my fingers in my mouth like this.
Yeah.
I go, is
So
this
that's a
wrong?
very straight hand. to hold
So
it.
Kathy Ann is like a redneck, quasi-alcoholic or whatever.
She's just kind of lived
character.
hard.
I've seen them in Montana, where I'm from
Yeah.
originally, and I go there a lot. I've seen those people, and she's that looked like a fun character to play.
It's so much fun. And I do think it's like so many of the people that I just love in real life and love to watch. And actually I worked at Greenblatt's for
right
for a
next to the
while.
Laugh Factory.
right next
Yeah.
to the
Oh,
Laugh
oh, oh,
Factory.
yeah.
And this is
gone
when I
now.
was smoking, and I'd go outside for a cigarette every now and then. And there was like a local lady in the neighborhood who would yell on the street a lot. And so she sort of was where it came from. And she
Local
said,
lady.
and it'd always be like, oh, don't make eye contact because she'll come over here. And it said like, they tried to give my brother DUI. And I said, it's probably your own breath blowing back in your face. And she was just that kind of energy and attitude.
Wow.
But it's together,
we've
you're like,
met a
don't
lot
make
of
eye
those
contact.
characters in our neighborhood.
Right.
Met that
Yeah.
person, and that's such a specific rhythm.
Yes. And I think they are everywhere. I don't think it's like, she's got a bit of an accent, I guess, but I don't think it's like definitely a
It's
Southern thing.
nondescript,
It's like
right?
in Michigan, it's in a bar everywhere, every state.
It's a bit of a tweaker twist to it. Like you don't know really what you're getting to, and it's a little crazy in the eye.
Yes. And again, I like to think that there's some teeth interaction, like missing a tooth or there's a rotten tooth.
Okay, how would that affect the way the voice
Tooth
comes
interaction.
Well,
That's how you do your impression.
Yeah, that's kind of like right. She also got like a mild speech impediment too.
Because there's enough missing tooth, and
Yeah,
the tongue kind
yeah.
of wanders in there.
Yeah.
And
Easier.
there's a sore back there.
There's
That's
stuff
cool.
in the mouth.
Bitter cheek.
For our theater students that listen to this podcast,
They're
this is interesting.
freaking right
Cecily,
now.
well, just the idea of pretending, okay, his character is missing a tooth.
Yeah.
I have, Cecily has beautiful teeth. I'm going to somehow make that part of the voice that the tooth is missing. Okay, that was for the theater
Yes.
fans. Go ahead.
Right. Well, Dana,
Can we
when
get
we
one
did
last
Bye-Bye,
taste of it so people can listen to that?
Yeah. Well, if you try to talk like you have no teeth, you know how that sometimes. I think it's sort of starting from there.
Just starting from there. Okay.
when we did Bye-Bye, she said, approximately how many teeth does this stewardess
fight?
have?
And how big
And I
are
said,
they?
mhm.
Does she whiten
Roughly
them?
how big, centimeter wise? Just will help me a little bit.
So we're bouncing around. I love
But we're
you.
keeping with teeth. That's good.
Well, I love that you're willing to kind of explain the character rhythmically and the voice thing. It's really interesting to me.
Well, in that Gemma,
I mean-
Dana, Benedict Cumberbatch was American, right?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Slumber
he did
Party.
is like a Cumberbatch slumber party. He should host that.
Did you say to
With
him,
adults.
is it more fun for him to play American accent and you're taking the Gemma?
I think that was, I hope that was fun for him. It sounded like it was at the time. He might have been just doing whatever that week, but I imagine it would be.
Yeah, it's probably more fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
I think
he was cool, right? Fun to work with.
so much fun.
did a guest spot there and just met him. He seemed very earnest and humble and ready to work and hoping he's doing a good job.
I feel like, I don't know if you got this vibe at all when you guys were on the show, but sorry, my dog.
Come on.
She's making things up. She's very dramatic. I'm sorry. The focus wasn't on her.
She's
was
making things up.
That's saying, what is this person doing?
She's had
talking
it with
into
you on the Zoom. She's like, that's enough.
talking to herself.
I'm sitting over here. No one's paying attention. But I was going to say, I feel like a lot of the English hosts or British hosts were sort of so game to kind of nerd out with us. And and not that American hosts aren't, but I just felt like across the board, kind of every British host we had almost had like a giggly, like little kid, just really would be willing to do anything.
Yeah.
Yes, I find the same thing. There's something about their training, their attitude. Yeah. There's something very potent. And
kind of like silly, goofy too, which I thought was a fun thing about Benedict.
Yeah.
Because while I guess he does, it is kind of a silly name, but it's also a very buttoned up name, I would think.
Sure. When you meet the host in the Monday meeting, I think that's where you get a vibe. I mean, they are nervous for sure. And you're nervous. I'm nervous because I'm starstruck most of the time. You're a writer, you're new on the show, whatever. You're always starstruck, and they bring in some big names. So I think you get a vibe in a first meeting what they're going to be like. Are they going to be fun? Some people you pitch them something, they go, sounds great, anything. And then they're up for anything, and you go, this is going to be fun. And some go, oh, I don't know. They're just you can tell they're tight, and they're like, can you do Russian accent? Oh, I don't really do accents really. And then you're like, okay. And then everyone pitches, and when you walk out of there, you go, I got a feel for it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not as good at that. I felt like I didn't quite get to know every host until after a table read, because sometimes you just guess so wrong.
Yeah, that's true. They can really come alive.
Oh no, yeah, or like you've just given them something that's so the wrong thing for them.
Were you there? Were you there when Trump was on? Because I just heard a story that Pete Davidson told, and he said, They said, Dana, did you hear this? He goes, first of all, that Trump came to read through this. You can corroborate. I may have been getting it wrong.
I know that. Yeah.
And he said, like, I don't really read. I don't really I sort of ad lib instead of read sketches. That was part of it. And then he said,
ad lib like nobody's business.
And he said, I don't have my glasses. And then Lauren said, you can use mine. And he's like, And then there was an end of a sketch, maybe at Disneyland, where he says, see you later. And then he looks at everyone else and goes, chicken leg? No, turkey legs? Like, let's go eat turkey legs.
Let me tell you, because it's one of my favorites.
Oh, let's hear it.
But there's a couple things that happened. He didn't bring his reading glasses to the table read and was like, oh, I didn't know that we were going to be reading or something like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, it's the table read.
With scripts.
45 scripts.
Yeah.
And so Ivanka was there, and there was a sketch that Ivanka was in that was set at like medieval times. And at the end of it, he goes, told ya. Grammatically was written, told ya, like told you so to her. He's talking to her, period. And then it says turkey leg. Like, would you like to go get a turkey leg? Mm-hmm. That's how one would read that sentence. But Donald Trump read it as told you turkey legs to Ivanka. Like he was calling her turkey legs. And then he looked at us funny. Okay, weirdos. And it was like, we're not you read it wrong. And then he also, in the middle of it, got a phone call and took his call. So we all just waited. And I've never seen anyone do that to Lauren yet, And he went, oh, that's great. My book just went to #1. And we all just went, wow,
Applause.
wow.
Applause,
had to applaud just the moment, just the fact that you would interrupt the table read to take your very real call.
My book just went to #1, and I know you got to do some things, but I think I deserve a little bit of applause.
And then he asked to be put into the Drake, the Hotline Bling sketch, the dad. I think it was like the dad dance or something. That
I remember his funny little weird dance.
He asked to be put in that.
Yeah.
And then the other thing he did was they did a Giving Tree sketch. And Jenna always tells the story, our stage manager, because he's like, that's not a real book. And she kept saying, what do you mean? That's a book. And he just did not believe that the Giving Tree, as he was in a full tree costume. And I do have a picture from my monitor in my dressing room from rehearsal of just his face in this tree costume.
The Giving Tree. It's just a rumor.
Did not believe, obviously was not brought up on the Giving Tree.
I know books. I read a lot of books. I can see books. I've heard about books, so I know when there's a book and it's not a book. Excuse me.
I know a lot of books.
Excuse me. Let me finish. I know about books. Let me tell you. No one like him. Everything's been said about him, but he's a one-off.
Those table reads are cool. I mean, you can learn a lot. I remember the first Alec Baldwin. He was great. Like, I didn't know what, you don't know what you're getting into. And sketch after sketch, you start to go, oh my God, these are pretty much cold reads. Like they've never seen the sketch and they're walking in, someone's going, hey, mine's sketch is number 41. And if you could play it like quiet at the beginning, but then you build and they're like, right. And they're trying to absorb it all. You don't know what the fuck's going on.
Right.
And
5 hours.
John Goodman always
learning
great.
8 songs.
Oh yeah. They're having to sing a song. Right. The hosting is so complicated.
Yes. And I think they're mainly just kind of in shock. I thought of my role as kind of an RA throughout the week. Where you're just sort of always being encouraging, like, how do you feel? Great. Yeah. That's normal. I think that's normal. And by Saturday, you're going to be,
It's very funny because they're walking into your turf and they can be kind of nervous. And I with a superstar, like a big movie star, and you can tell they're out of their element and you're kind of going, you're doing great. And, just read it off the card. Just read it straight off the card.
Right. That's it. I'm like putting it in my head that they need encouragement from me. I'm probably like wearing a blanket and slippers. My life isn't, I don't have it all together. And I'm like, you're doing great.
I was doing a guest spot. I think Church Lady at Update, because I'd done Fallon, and then Lauren would always say, you'll be doing Church Lady on a Saturday. Oh, okay, I'll call my travel agent. And then it was Benedict Cumberbatch. I remember afterwards, just at the good nights, he goes, it was pretty good, okay, right? It was okay. I go, no, it was great. Yeah. Great. But funny, me telling you, I can't,
I wonder if anyone's ever gone, it was pretty good. You could have done better.
I wouldn't.
I mean, to any host, would you ever, even if they're bombing, you're going, you're doing great. You got to keep them upbeat,
Right.
Just never go real on them.
No.
So can we circle back around how your audition? I just want to know so you, just to jump around a little bit, you went to Cal Arts
for theater.
So you're studying, you're getting better, you're starting to get funny, and then you go to Chicago.
I went, yes. So I stayed in LA for like 9 months, 7 to 9 months or something. And I was just kind of like, I don't think this is going to be the way I do this business if I'm going to do it. It was just sort of, I didn't really understand how any of it worked, and business wise, like I couldn't get it was just like, it felt bad, as this business can feel sometimes. And so I took a class at the Groundlings though, and I really liked it. And so I was like, well, I'll move back to Chicago and rent will be a lot cheaper. And every now and then my mom can buy me groceries. And I went to Second City. I started taking classes at
Second City.
Yeah.
And what was the vibe difference when you got to Chicago? LA, it just feels more pressure and just weirder, right?
Yeah. And
Chicago is still a Midwestern city.
Yeah, my family was in Chicago. And I do. I enjoy the Midwest a lot more. It's a lot chunkier people who are more friendlier in public. I don't know.
Chunky and friendly.
You have a slight accent too, right?
We have a slight accent. We like to eat, to laugh and drink. You have to, because it's so cold. You have to find ways to enjoy life while you can. And
in LA, it's just...
Yeah, and actually I loved my class at the Groundlings. I really had a good group. But I definitely, I was like, there's so much more of that kind of, especially that comedy, sketch, and improv. This is just like, that's so much of what Chicago is.
Yeah.
And I took classes at IO eventually. I did some shows at The Annoyance, and, then we would do a couple of those shows
Improv
for
Olympic.
you. You rent out the theater and beg your friends to come for $5 tickets. You may have 5 audience members that night.
Bring her show.
And when did you you met people either been at Second City, got on SNL, or coming back to say hello, or then it became sort of in your purview, as they say, SNL is a possibility.
It was not. It was like a possibility, but again, like I wouldn't be so foolish as to say that out loud. It's just such an outlandish, like that's not going to happen to me. And I knew that they did auditions, but even you had to audition for the audition. And I was like in the box office at IO one night when Sharna was like, "You should do this." And I thought, well, I don't know if I'm ready. And I heard like if you audition for Lorne once and he doesn't, and you don't get in, he never wants to see you again or something.
Never again.
There's all
I've heard that.
the things that people pass around, and like you can't get pregnant in a hot tub. You can only audition once. SNL, just the info kids pass on.
You can't get pregnant in audition.
Yeah.
Urban myths or whatever. Yeah.
And so, but then I took a workshop. That was, what was it? Characters and impressions or something. Because I didn't do a lot of impressions. And I never really thought of myself as an impression person. But I think I put together six things, but I kept them all short. And I think that's what helped me in the end was because you would see some
tiny
people.
Hook.
Yes. And you're like, some people, this is very indulgent. And, and everybody's doing similar, there's the old, I forget his name because I'm Sam Elliott. Who was it? The old guy with the mustache that everybody did.
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott. Yeah. It's like, well, 8 of you are going to do Sam Elliott. So you don't need to do like a 3-minute monologue.
I like when they say like, I think this is a good trick. Like Dana, I've learned a lot about impressions from Dana, and people don't realize the longer you do it, the harder it is because you have a few hooks.
Yes.
And they go, oh, that sounds like them. But the longer you go, it doesn't. And when sometimes you ask people to ad lib as a character, they go, no, I know that's so much harder because you want to write something that includes the hooks.
Right. And where you say, and yes, like your thing in and I know I sound like them here, but I can't say the word chalk. That's that word. That's not
Exactly.
So Cecily, so you're going to audition at IO or
at
Second
IO,
City?
at IO.
And to your mind, there was maybe 10 of you or whatever. And so you were strategizing, knowing who was maybe going to come on before you. So you were not redundant. And then who was there? Was it lieutenants, Lorne's minions, basically?
I know.
Was Lorne there or them?
Lorne was there. I think Lindsay Shookus was there. Aaron Doyle, I think, was there. Colin was there.
Oh, really?
So
and Kenward.
The whole canon of people who can decide whether you're going to be on Saturday Night Live.
There was a big,
in the audience.
they were all there.
Okay.
But I mean, I didn't know who anyone was except Lorne, really.
I get nervous when you just said that. I was like getting nervous, going, "Oh my God!" Walking out, going, "Here we go. This is all that matters for everything. They'll never see you again." That's true. You think if they did not like you, then why would they see you right away again? It takes a long time.
What did you do? Did you have any methodology for dealing with that pressure, or when you got out there, you got to laugh and felt comfortable, or what happened?
Yeah, I think I got laughs. So really, I don't know what the strategy would even be for that. Sometimes you just have to go do it. It's like you don't have a choice.
You're just trying to control your nerves and actually have fun is the goal. And then how do you try not to try?
I probably looked like I was trying, but I think they forgive it. But I was also like, I'm comfortable around an audience at this point. My family was there. So I imagine if I hadn't gotten any laughs, it would have felt terrible. But luckily that didn't happen.
It's also your home theater. It's not like at the daily, on 8H. 8H is barren and
it's
terrifying.
A super friendly audience, right? And everybody's laughing because, it's like in all of our best interests for anyone to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your first, ladies and gentlemen, Cecily Strong, do you remember your first bit or your first laugh or first character that you did or an impression, or what did you start with? Hello.
I think, we did this.
It's hard to start sometimes.
Yes, it was hard to start. I think the biggest was like we did Girl at a Party kind of 2 weeks in. It was during one of those election.
Oh, you came in with that one.
So
I didn't even.
Another thing that you do, these long names of characters. You're talking about girl you wish you hadn't started a conversation with at a party. It's kind of which is one of your first big hits on SNL.
Yes,
right?
The one that's everyone knows how to say the name. I was trying to write an update character with Colin Jost, and I did do. For my audition, I did a little boy that I overheard at Mother's Day restaurant in Forest Park, Illinois. But it was the intro was half of the.
Is that the name of it?
Yeah. It was like a chubby little boy that I overheard at Forest Park. That was awesome. See you next Saturday. Something like that.
That much is funny.
Yeah.
You would get it. You'd be like,
right. Anymore, it would be like,
you see the boy.
Yeah, you see that little boy. Loved his pancakes. So I was trying to write something with Colin, and I kept sort of being like, and that's a good one because it's important for society or something. And we were joking around like that. And I remember Jay Farrow was writing something, but you just heard him yelling the N-word in the hallway. And so I think I said, and can I say the N-word in mine? And so that was become Girl at a Party's bit too. She was always like a little, just assumes that she's got the right to do everything too. And I'd like heard a story from a male friend of mine who there was like a girl at a bar, and I'd heard a couple people in my life were telling me, they'd like seen a cute girl at a bar or something, and then she said something racist or offensive, just kind of out of nowhere. And it was like, casually. What? Where did that even come from? Yeah.
So wait a minute. So you actually used the real word on your audition?
Oh, no. I've never.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah. No, I didn't know. So this Jay Farrow was screaming.
He used the real word. I said, can I use the N-word? Which I think he did. Yeah. I think we did put that in an early Girl at a Party.
Did Jay Farrow and you get the show on the same night, or
no? He was. I can't remember if he was a year. I think he was 2 years before me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So he was already in the cast when you auditioned.
Yes.
Okay, and he just happened to be screaming in the hallway. Yes. I thought it was from nerves that he screamed.
No. Yeah. Jay was. Okay. Yeah.
God,
Jay gives all of himself. Yes.
Yeah. Did you get the show from that audition?
We had like speed dating the next day. They asked 9 of us to go to the hotel where Lorne and his peeps were. And there were like 2 long tables. So I think I had an awkward conversation with everyone for 5 minutes. The only thing I remember saying was like, I love Trader Joe's, cucumbers and wine. Yeah. I don't know.
And they're all just staring. Was anyone laughing in a friendly way, or were they just looking at you?
I feel like they were encouraging, but that was...
I'm sure they know you're nervous.
Yes,
I'm sure they know everyone that walks in that door is like saying stupid shit.
Right.
It's impossible not to. So you do the audition, you do this little like meet up with them, and then what happens? You get a phone call?
Yeah, so then
I got 6 months?
I got another phone call, I think, the next day or something, to fly out for a screen test, and it was an all girls screen test, and 80 was in the ETC show at Second City, and so she got flown out from that too. So 80 and what was nice was 80 and I really did every step together. So we went to that first
nice
screen test. Yeah, and I knew her. I was a fan of hers, honestly. In Chicago. And I think I understudied her at that point too, on her role on ETC. And so we did our first screen test in New York, and then went home and kind of didn't think about it. Oh no. Then the day I flew back, and I got a call driving back from the airport to fly out to New York again to just sort of sit in the office and talk to them.
It's Lorne, pick up.
Hey, Cecily, guess who?
Hit me on the hip.
Can you do the person who you don't want to see? They're trying to converse with you.
The lady that doesn't have an Uber app, but says she does.
We
or
like
something.
the little fat boy, but
there's always a but.
Can he be fatter?
Yeah.
after the New York screen test, were you starting to think maybe I'm going to get this? I mean, did you call your parents? Who do you call?
Yeah. I think I definitely called my parents. And probably only my parents would be the one, because it was like, I just don't want to say too much and jinx it or make people think that I think I'm going to get this. Yeah.
Right. But you did check in with them just because they knew you when you were 3 being funny.
Yes, so they'd known me for a while. So, right.
But you probably downplayed it. Like, I don't know if I'll get it, but I did this, and this.
And of course, they probably at that point assume you'll get it. I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know.
It's pretty far down the road.
Yeah. It's such a, right. And especially to go from like, I'm understudying Second City and touring and like, it's just such a big jump from that to now I'm on TV. And even, like living in Chicago versus New York.
Well, just going in that building, the 30 Rock, and seeing 8H for the first time is hallowed ground.
Right.
All of it would give you a slight stomach ache or something. Or
diarrhea-inducing
Yes, and you have to kind of wait forever. I don't even know how many people were in that screen test. You can just sort of hear people in the hallway and kind of like, I don't know when I don't know when I'm up.
It's torture.
Yeah.
You're there for like 8 hours and someone just goes,
like
now.
Those were the longest days of my life. Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. There's a waiting thing Dana and I talk about, like it's waiting to see Lauren. There's some weird thing about it's always waiting and it just drives you bananas.
Yeah. And then your anxiety does kind of build up. I'm like, I hope can I stand by the time I'm out there?
I think when Lauren gets someone like you on the other side of it, they're thinking, like, you probably see this now. You've done Second City, you've done IO, you've done all these things. It's sort of a safe bet at some point. Like, you're not just out of nowhere, plucked out of nowhere. They do like to hear about you. I think they need a little buzz, maybe for one season, and then they hear your name again. And if they keep hearing it, they go, we got to check her out. And it's almost done deal then, at the beginning.
Yeah. Well, I certainly had I never thought I was safe. You know what I mean?
Sure. On your end. Yeah.
Right. On my end. And I think like, I don't know that there was any buzz necessarily, but although I'm sure Sharna probably said something, but I think I was a bit out of nowhere. And so I went for 2 screen tests. So then we went again at the end of the summer, and Lauren told me, he said, my second one was funnier than the first. And he said, that's why he hired me.
How crazy. Wow. Even to relive it.
You almost get more nervous later on.
That's weird.
Yeah.
But you look at you prepared yourself for whatever reason. You took all the steps so that it would be a possibility that you would get on Saturday Night Live. So let's move into, now you're on Saturday Night Live.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
Does anyone telling you anything? Are you sharing an office with 80 or what's going on?
I shared an office with Joe Kelly, who now does Ted Lasso with Jason. And I think he was there for Jason's last season. And he was so, he really took me under his wing. And he was sort of our social coordinator too. So we went out a lot my first couple of years. We'd go out every Wednesday. I went to Amsterdam with a bunch of people.
Restaurant up, where was it? I'm sure I went there.
Amsterdam, the
country.
Europe. Yes.
Oh, the real Amsterdam.
The real Amsterdam.
I thought we went to Amsterdam's, which was, I thought, a restaurant I went to in Amsterdam.
We had our table in the back of Amsterdam.
You guys would go to Amsterdam every Wednesday night?
Every Wednesday night. I swear I'm telling the truth.
All the way
You could take Paul's jet. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Just I'll be back for read-through.
They're wild. You got to let them.
So you get on SNL and you start traveling the world.
They're wild.
Yeah. I had to... I wasn't able to pay my health insurance premium until January, though. So I did. I think it was like my first tax return. That's when I got to go to Amsterdam.
Ooh.
Pretty cool.
I saw that you, at a certain point, you were on Update. How is that true? And how does that discussion happen? And then you wanted to go back to sketches more?
Yeah.
It's time consuming, right?
Yeah, it was. And it was, so I went on with Seth for a bit. and it was really easy then because Seth had been doing it and he had done it with Amy before. So he sort of knew how to do that duo. And then Seth left, and then I knew Colin was coming in. And I think it was just, especially, it was kind of like, it became very clear that this was going to take a lot of work to sort of figure out what our update would be. And that's when I it was kind of like, I don't want that to be my whole thing on the show, to have to I just felt it was going to take more work than that would take away from getting to do sketches. And it's sort of like, I liked being a guest on Update and felt like I had much more success doing that than being a host.
A host is like the straight man.
Yeah. And I kind of like, I was like, it was a cool honor. It was great. And there was a great team writing jokes. It feels like a whole different world at SNL, like the update room versus sketches. Sure. But I certainly was like, I want to be in the sketch world more. And I don't want people to not write me into sketches because of update. And knowing that it was going to need all this work was sort of, we had a lot of talks about it. And it was like, I would rather go back to just being in the cast then. Like, I think it could have been done maybe if it were just more if we had like a rhythm already, but we just didn't. It was so new. And it was, when they lose someone, everything takes a bit more work. So it was getting used to not having Seth, and they're kind of like, they don't like you already because you're not Seth. And it was, I just was like, I don't want that uphill battle when it already is so tough to sort of figure out your place at that place.
And we're all the better for it because your range is extraordinary. And so it seems like if Update usurped you and your energy and time, we wouldn't have all these great characters. You're just a natural sketch player. And you're someone who you want on your team. I mean, Lorne must have loved it when he discovered you could play this, you could do this, you could do that. It's great to have somebody with that kind of range.
Yeah, right.
In your sketch team.
I think because, I don't know that, now being there for a while, you sort of see how many different types of people do this show and make it work. And you're always like, there's people who are stand-ups, and they're, it's just like not everybody comes from like a theater background. Yeah. So you're only going to have, right.
You're more valuable probably out there in sketches.
I definitely think I was more valuable in sketches than at the desk because I'm not a stand-up, and so it was just wasn't as natural.
It's newscastery and it's good jokes, and they have great joke writers usually in Update. Always
great joke writers.
I think Dana, is this possible? I was only there 6 years, but I think I lived through doing bits with Dennis on Update, Kevin Nealon, Norm, and Colin Quinn.
Wow,
probably, yeah.
Because Dennis was finishing, then Kevin had a long run, then Norm. Then he got fired, and then Colin. And when I left,
wow,
crazy, and
that
it is hard.
Crazy.
And Colin always says they were mad Norm got fired, and sort of took it out on Colin.
Yes, right. That would be hard to step into right after, right?
Because it's not Colin's fault. He's great, but you're just following, and they're like, "Wait, where's Norm? What happened?"
Yes,
that's true. And Colin talked about that he felt he should be sort of Norm-like in a way, like.
Yeah,
he's very affable and friendly, and he wishes he'd been more like that. Anyway, everybody has regrets, but you're the longest running female cast member, just
tenured.
A fun stat.
Although I do think if someone like officially ran the numbers, because Kate,
Kate, number of episodes,
because Kate was there like 5 episodes before 80 and I got there, and then I missed some because of other shows. So I felt like I was pretty darn close to 80 and Kate. Like, I think we're all
leaning at the table. We'll go back and look
call it a wash.
I would call it a wash and just...
Yeah, it's essentially around a decade.
Did you just rip the Band-Aid off and leave? You didn't make it a long goodbye, right? I think yours was sort of out of the blue.
Well, it wasn't really, though. It just wasn't a thing I was like, broadcasting to everyone. But publicly, when I went back that year, the way I went back when talking to Lorne was like, I would like to leave this year. And I think Christmas would be a great time because it's a happier show. And I'm going to be so sad to leave. So hopefully that'll saw
I'm getting
him
more
blow a
on the other
little.
end of this conversation.
No.
He gets attached to his cast members.
Yes.
Maybe stay till February.
I think they would. Yes, I'm sure he would have. It was probably like we're not going to talk about it and broadcast it because I think there was still a lot of people holding out hope that I would not leave.
Was it when did you go to Schmigadoon and then come back? Is that what happened?
In 2020, I did Schmigadoon that fall and got back in December. And then last year, I did a play. I did this one woman show in LA. So I missed the first.
Lily Tomlin one, right?
Yes.
Wow.
Another long title.
And it was right, exactly. I'm comfortable with
filling those shoes. Did you hear from Lily at all?
She came to opening night. Actually,
okay,
which I found out that day, and that was I think maybe that was even more nerve wracking than having Lauren at that audition.
And Lauren asked that, make sure you're there on the opening night, Lily, but don't let her know until like a couple hours before because like she works very well under pressure.
Right. Yes.
But you probably scored. I'm sure she was incredibly sweet. I would assume.
She was wonderful. I mean, I think I got to get applause for her at the curtain call, which was really, I was kind of like, great. Can I get through this? Can I say these things without weeping? But it was very cool having her there. And then unfortunately, Jane Wagner, who wrote the show, didn't get to the show, but we did. I went and saw her at her house, which was really cool seeing all of her and Lily's. It was like a museum, really. So they have all their things.
In Search of Intelligent Life.
The search for signs of intelligent life in the universe.
And yet, for short, I know people call it ISFAJJQQFR.
Yeah,
just for short.
I call it the spaceship monologue.
The spaceship.
Well, by the way, I saw Schmagadon.
Schmigadoon. You can't not do Adam Sandler when you say that.
Oh, yeah.
Schmigadoon.
Yes. I thought you were saying Chicago, which is our second season.
And it looks very involved. Like, is it a hard show? I think you produced maybe also, but is it hard because it's, first of all, very unique, which is so hard to do these days. And then the dancing and the singing and the jokes in the songs, all that stuff has got to be tough.
Definitely. I think, but there's a lot of outside rehearsals. We have a great choreographer and great music team. So it was sort of that, it all felt like once you were shooting, it felt very ready. Mm-hmm. Because especially that first season, we was such strict COVID rules. So we really were so limited with how much time we got with each other.
So just
tell
for a
everyone
second,
what it is.
For our viewers, you and Keegan Michael Key, I love his name, star together, and then go ahead.
Yeah, so we play a couple they're sort of a newer couple. They met and have a great thing, and then they're sort of at a rut in their relationship and arguing a lot. And Melissa just finds a hike for them to sort of, it's like a romance hike or a love building hike. A rekindling hike. And they go on it and they're arguing and caught in a rainstorm. And somehow they end up in this magical town called Schmigadoon. But they find out it's a musical every day. They've gotten themselves trapped in an old-fashioned musical.
They can't get out.
And they can't get out until they find true love.
That's a good, really interesting setup. And it's really well done. I mean, I was watching going, just knowing a little bit about production, being on movies and how hard everything is, just when I do my basic crummy movies, to have this with like so many things happening and so many jokes written and just how it's got to be so tight. Everyone looks great. Very good job. Man.
I will say the second season, there are more looks and worlds covered. So I think it was somehow we had the same amount of time, but I think like 20 more pages or something. So it felt a bit more frantic, but we got it done. And I think it's pretty fun in Canada.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Schmigadoon, Canada?
In Schmigadoon, Canada.
I always like it when you watch the first episode.
Canada.
I love when people are going into a surreal environment that can't be true, but it is.
That's lovely.
It's Vancouver.
And your character's kind of going, well, let's go with this. and your boyfriend's going, this isn't happening.
He's
He
very
is not
skeptical.
right. He's
I
not
love
a
that
musical
whole
person.
Yeah. And then just so people know, you'll randomly say something to these people they don't even know. And then they'll have a well choreographed, brilliant Broadway song.
They'll just start, right. And they were such great dancers. I remember there was one, it was like 8 a.m. or something. And this guy just did 16 flips in a row. It was like, wow, what a different morning you and I have had.
Yeah,
you went on you go to the tunnel of love, and there's like a bad boy guy standing there, and then he sings to you. This is probably early on when you don't really know that's what's going on, which is very funny reactions. And then I guess you guys start to get used to the fact that this is where you are.
Yes. And right, we stop asking what they're doing every time.
And just accept it.
Once we figure that out. Yeah.
That's on Apple TV.
That's on Apple TV Plus. The new season, which is Chicago, is April 5th.
If you like Broadway musicals, which everybody does.
And then I do think first season, I think a lot of people who do not consider themselves musical people. We had a good amount of people.
Well, I'm not a musical person. I liked it.
Well, it's kind of science fiction in a way, fantasy science
hopefully
fiction.
There's like something for everybody. And I think having Keegan and I lets like a comedy audience
it's jokes, that there's
maybe
tons
wouldn't
of jokes in
think that was a show for them.
Well, the songs have jokes, so it's not just watching,
Yeah. It's very original. I would check it out. I would check it out. And you and Keegan are great.
I see Keegan out a lot. I see him around in Los Angeles.
He's the best. Yeah.
Yeah. Always good mood.
You can hear him when you're out too. I feel like when he enters the room, he's there. So there's like
he's
a big scream laugh.
A lot of fun energy. Could we just touch on, as we go through your life here, some of your classic sketches? Like I know that you, I just kind of personally I just
want to say this is very cool for me. Just want you to know that.
We've been watching you all morning and laughing out loud at your stuff. And that's why me and Dana are going back and forth before we called you. And we were like, did you just see this one? Did you see this one? We're
alums and we don't want to make it too grandiose, but it is a seminal experience for us in that place. Yeah. And Lauren and being on live TV with your friends who you make lifelong friendships with. So this is very enjoyable. But I just kind of thought there was so many great cast members in that decade. And then I personally sort of started to notice you doing, like really connecting with the audience. Because I think it takes a while for the audience to go, oh, we like Cecily.
Yes.
Yeah.
She just made me really laugh. And then it happens and builds. So I just saw that maybe, at least it was for me, those last 2 or 3 years, you were just at another level or some other level happened of confidence.
Yes.
And Gina Pirino, sorry. Yeah. Was like but like a heavyweight character, like a big, loud, bombastic. And that must have been fun just to play that person. That persona is so aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. And Brian Tucker wrote it with me. And he wrote it as a sketch first, just a sort of a Fox News thing, but no one really knew who she was at the time, even though we were like, she's a great character.
Yeah.
But the first time we did it, I don't think there was a big response. And then we tried it again on Update, and it was sort of, I was excited because it was a way to do a bit of physical comedy too, because I wanted to. And the first sketch that we wrote, we had her in a chair with a seatbelt, worried that she was going to fly out of her chair. So I was like, well, then let me fly out of the chair. That'll be our thing. Yeah.
She always yells, Dana, because she was yelling for a Cobb salad and they had cranberries on it. One cranberry.
Right. Yes. That's her volume or
and
something.
She never went down on volume after that.
Yes.
But
yelling at a waiter.
It was a big, powerful one. And then I'm always interested when people can do, because I don't know if I had that gear, play subtle, dumb, and I'm just looking at the 2 porn stars you did with Vanessa Bayer. Describe those 2 characters in the rhythm of how you're acting dumb but not dumb. I mean, how do you describe that?
Yeah, I think my porn star was always a little bit more out of it than Vanessa's, but it was kind of, that's how the pair worked. And I think mine's just, I remember seeing, I think it was like a Tyra Banks or something early on, and she had a porn star on. I forget who it was, but she was so like, yeah, I'm happy doing that. And there's just the way she was speaking I was like, oh, I want to do that. And I think it was also just a way to, writing with Colin Jost, we like to do a lot of malapropisms. And so it was, which we do a girl at a party, and then we wound up doing in porn. It's like an excuse for a lot of bad puns too, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. But it's fun when you land a hard laugh with something that's so soft-spoken.
I think that was like, even more than girl at a party, I think that was the most, I felt the best after that first year. I think it was Jamie Foxx's episode. I think that's what it was. And it was my first year, and we were the last sketch. And I think, and Lauren gave us, it was still more cushioned when you're in that last spot. You can kind of, the audience went so wild for it. And it was so much fun to have that reaction for the first time.
At 10-1.
Yes. Yeah. And kind of be like a little dirty. And it was really fun.
Because you had a series of lines. The one I saw today was, this morning was, I got banged, and then something really, you're both doing it so obviously casual and so soft-spoken. But anyway, so I'm glad to hear that would be something. For me, it was doing Johnny Carson, because I wasn't thinking about whether the audience was going to laugh, because I knew what I was saying was almost too funny, at least to me internally. So I felt like you had that connection with that character, where it's just like all thrown away and really soft-spoken, but super funny.
Yes. I think that's sort of how we got away with all of it too. We kept saying, like, how can we just wanted a framework to be able to say these awful things. And we were like, oh, they were porn stars, but they're not anymore. And then it was like, and we had a lot of fun running gags. Like, I never got a name. It was always like, how do we do that this time? How can we skirt around me saying a name?
Like, can you give me an example of that?
Like, she'd say, we're not porn stars anymore. I'm Brecky. And I'd go, and this is Brecky. Or she said, I'm Brecky. And I said, and you can too.
Yeah, it's your non sequitur weird.
Yes, I'm not always paying attention. That gal at every moment.
They may have done drugs.
Yeah, you kind of hope that they did.
There was just I thought it was very cute when you and Kristen did. It's such a weird thing. You're on a date with a 10-year-old kid. But you guys just carry the whole thing, and you're so keeping it alive and funny and just sort of odd, but very likable girls.
Yeah. I think I wrote it with Mike O'Brien, and it was like, we just wanted to really write the best date that someone could, there's something that felt really good. And it was like, and then it just happened to be 10-year-olds, but they really felt like this is really a date that's good.
I know the way you played it that's just fun to watch. Because I obviously, you start these, you don't know where it's going. And if you're in comedy, you don't know where it's fun to watch these things unfold. And then you guys just seeing two pros just being very funny on their side of it. And
having like Tim and Bobby. It was a lot of giggling.
Yeah, I'm sure that just looks like a super fun rehearsal also.
Yeah.
And you Bobby Moynihan, you and he did the Best Buy firing. That must have been kind of fun, because it was just so loud and you were supposed to be getting fired, so you just deconstructed every other employee.
Right.
Like, rip
if they're
them
going
apart.
out, they're going out with a bang. That was the first show I'd gotten a sketch on, and I got that on and Girlfriends on, and it was so great. Ooh. Because Bobby had been there for a while, and sort of like I really trusted whatever. If he's saying this is good, then I trust that it's. I was great. Really like, I hadn't quite yelled at the table yet before. That was my first time yelling at the table.
Definitely, this happened to me twice, not as much as Dana, but to either write something or co-write something, and when you originally get a big one on, it's so much of your focus. To have two on is almost throws you. It's like, that's too much.
Yes. It was crazy that they both. I was sort of like, how does that will that work?
Because you have to oversee them, direct it. Like, there's so much to do with them, and go to wardrobe and costumes and set design and help with every aspect. You're like, oh my God, just give me one. Let me just see if I can figure one out.
And you're like, well, is this going to work? It's my, wanting to make sure everything is like you've thought through everything for the first one. But then after,
was the other one Girlfriend's Talk Show? Sorry, was the other one Girlfriend's Talk Show with 80s?
Yeah.
So there's your bandmate from.
There's your 80. Yep.
Yes.
So you have a comfort zone with her.
Yeah, I
at least in the early days.
I did a lot of two-handers for a long time over there, which I really loved.
Two-handers meaning duos.
Yeah.
Yeah, where me and Bobby or Vanessa and I, 80 and I, Kate and
those
I
are kind of those
Wayne's
are fun.
World was a two-hander.
Yes.
Hans and Franz, I'm going to say two-hander.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think it's fun. It's a very clean, simple thing. You're playing a rhythm with your other person, and it's just nice.
Yes.
Also, for getting laughs off a straight part was you and Bill Hader when he hosted, and you're going to play Uno with your friends.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
He's your boyfriend.
Well, that one. I wrote a lot with James Anderson and Kent Sublet, and I was like, we just have to, what I know of Bill is like, we just have to give him a big toy.
Yeah,
really. So it's like, give him a big motorized wheelchair.
And then you climb on him. I didn't see that coming.
No.
You have the courtesy
blanket. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's not like, and she goes, sex is sexual.
Right. It's not a sexual thing. It's science.
And she goes, no, sex is sexual.
And it's sort of, this awful trying to make your friends feel bad. Like, how much I want a baby.
Yeah, I know. It was all good. Yeah. Try not to laugh, of course, because he's banging into everything, driving his fucking scrambler.
Right. And there's no, we still only get however many rehearsals. And then, so it's so, we don't know how any of it's going to work.
Backing up. You don't even know who's going to hit a table, or you guys are going to get your leg broken or
yes. Over. And I think like the controlled chaos was sort of, that became my favorite part of the show. It's like the thing that sets us apart from everything else is having it live and
not perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it was sort of like throw in a dog, throw in some wine that you're throwing or some, just then you have chaos that you're kind of like, I don't quite know what's going to happen. So then it keeps,
and the audience
us
senses that
having fun. Yeah.
They want it for sure.
I had a dog with massive head wound hair.
Of course,
which was,
right.
But that was, I was just
dog
writing.
won an Emmy.
The notes after dress was, the dog is pushing a little. Could we get the dog to not find the lens? It's just
the dog's hosting during February sweeps with Jay-Z.
So you do 10 years, you go through all these different cast members coming and going. When you first came in, who was there and who left pretty shortly after that, or were you?
Well, we wound up being we had a core cast for a long time together.
That came in.
Yeah. So it was Bill and Jason and Fred's last year.
Oh, okay.
When I got there.
You caught them for 1 year.
Yeah. So I got 1 year with them.
Solid. Yeah.
Which was so exciting, to have those people around when you're first there. It was really exciting. Yeah. And then, and Bobby, Taryn, Jay, Vanessa, they were sort of the next, and Nassim were all sort of the next upperclassmen. And then, but 80, Kate and I, and Beck and Kyle, we were there for a long time together.
Yeah, you did have a nice long run together.
Yeah,
Kyle Mooney.
Yeah,
Beck Bennett, Kate, of course. You. Yeah. The show keeps
and Keenan obviously. Yes,
and Keenan Thompson, just the perennial cast member. It was just always
when you leave mid-season. Is it
funny?
A weird feling when the shows are still on?
It's definitely weird. It feels like it was much longer. It feels like a much more time has passed since I've been there. But I think I know 80 and Kate and a couple other people I've talked to, and even Kristen, I talked to her when she first hosted. It was kind of like I haven't been watching. I think you have to kind of walk away for a while to be able to leave. So
it's very weird to watch it after.
There's people doing your job.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's weird.
And I think all the anxiety I feel like would just come back right away. And I would, I just don't, I think I'm good where I am with this distance.
You did a good run. I mean, my God.
Yeah,
it's pretty comprehensive. Do you feel, I don't know, you probably feel so many things, but somewhere you must feel a nice level of satisfaction. You lived your dream.
Totally.
Yeah.
And
yes. And I got to leave like happy, which I know doesn't always happen.
No, I mean, we've heard of those stories.
Yeah. And I had a tough couple of years like everybody does. And so it was really nice to get to leave that way.
Going out with a bang. And now you have Schmigadoon. Is that the pronunciation?
Schmigadoon. I think that's a great.
You also may not know this. You're in a phone commercial.
That's right. Yes.
You wouldn't know that.
You might.
TV.
I don't know if you've seen it.
I don't know if you've seen it. You know
can
it's
find
mandatory
it on YouTube,
to see it.
Though.
Yeah. You have to go to YouTube.
I'm a big fan of tech commercials and phone. You don't. Potato chips and tacos is harder. Although I'm for sale at this point, I will bite a taco.
Yeah.
But when you're doing phone companies or that sort of Apple commercial or whatever, that's sort of nice. I mean, I think the commercials
very nice.
You look great and it's just sweet and it's kind of smart. So I'm a big fan of doing commercials as soon as you come off SNL.
It's
right as you come off.
Great gig.
It's a great gig. And then you got, I think, who was in it? Seth was in the one I saw.
Seth has been, Jessica Williams just did one.
See,
so they've been, I was like,
believe it or not, Cecily, you were not supposed to do commercials. When you came off Saturday Night Live in the 90s, you were not supposed to do commercials. So that I'm not envious. I don't hate the people who do them now. I lived through them and I root for you guys.
Yes.
But do the commercials.
I know. It was like a new thing that we got to do a commercial during our time on the show. That was always like such a no-no, but I think in the past, however, a couple of years. Yeah.
I got shot down on that. Well, I have to ask her, I have to tell her one thing before you get your last word, Dana. Born in Springfield,
Illinois.
My daughter lives in Springfield and growing up in Springfield. So I'm saying there's hope for her to come out like Cecily because you did it and you liked it. You were there for a really long time.
I did move pretty quickly, actually. I was a year and a half when we moved to Oak Park, which is right outside of Chicago.
What are your recollections of
what was the mall like when you were there at 1 year old?
But I'm sure it's what made me who I am.
Do you go back ever or no? Do you just that was it?
To Springfield?
Yeah.
No, not to Springfield.
She's like,
I did go back. I went back once. It's far away from Chicago, but I went. It was when Barack Obama announced Joe Biden as his running mate. It was in Springfield, and a couple friends and I drove.
You did it at the J. Crew at the mall there?
At the J. Crew. I got an autograph.
Barack Obama. So you have a memoir out. This will all be over soon, which I love the title.
Yes.
Written during the pandemic, and that's available on wherever you can buy it.
All the book places. Yeah.
Book places, yeah.
So I'm just so, I don't know. I'm just so thrilled that when they said, Cecily's in, it made me very happy.
Oh yeah,
so
it's like I think it's like a rite of passage to get to talk to you guys, and you are both some of the best who have ever done it, and you're doing well on the other side.
Very nice.
I love funny people, and we did ask Keenan about, which just as a kind of a pithy question, like, oh, who's the greatest? We all have to make a name up or whatever, rank things, and he gave the best answer. He just said spontaneously, the women.
Oh, that's
all the women.
Because
he's a freaking doll.
He is adorable. He's like, you want to adopt him.
Smart guy too.
Yeah.
The amount of women, and you're in that continuum between Amy and I'll forget the names, too many. Sherry O'Terry and
Maya, Molly.
It goes on and on. Maya, Molly, Kristen,
Amy,
Kate.
Right.
Yeah, there's so many women who've done such brilliant work on that show in recent history. But we fancy ourselves, it sounds highfalutin, a slight, casual, funny oral history of cast members, interviewing cast members. We know where the grease paint is stored. So this has been a pleasure. David, do you have any final statement?
No, I like it. You get to talk about SNL, not bore everyone, because at certain times you just start talking about it and you're like, all right, well, forget it. I should stop. But it's fun to talk about because it's on your mind. It'll be on longer than you think. You just keep because
You'll
you were there
always
so
be
long.
from Saturday Night Live. And the great thing about the way the world works now with live streaming and all these venues, you're just going to work. You're going to do whatever you want to do in show business for decades now. But you'll always be from Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
Which is it's a great legacy.
Nice.
And
It's right. It could be
everybody
way
has a
worse.
story.
It's not. Yeah.
Could be way worse. It's great to have. I mean,
Yeah.
everything sort of comes from there, and came from improv places.
Well,
then
when
you go there.
When you can do live sketch comedy and do it with joy and do it as an expert, everything else that you can do. It's kind of, it's like
I feel like the greatest thing since leaving has been like seeing that people maybe see me now the way I saw Amy and Tina and Maya and Kristen walking in. And that was, I think, like, that's just a great thing to have in my pocket for a bad day.
Big deal.
To feel like I'm amongst those names, and that's so
you are
cool.
1,000% amongst, and everyone loves it at a certain age. One of Lauren-isms, that was 14 at the time, but you've got your cast, your primary cast, and your people, and those fans are so connected to you. Forever, which is very sweet. They're 14 now, but you'll run into them later, and they'll be so. It's such an honor to be on that show, and to be humble about it, and just be grateful.
We're on the wall.
We get to do this.
We're on the wall.
We got to do a fun job for a long time.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to get started in a minute. We're just going to take a break, but we like to do pre-interviews on this.
I think we got a good show here.
We do.
We know what we're going to talk
pleasure.
about now.
Thank you very much.
I like to say we're going to see you around campus in show business, and for sure at the 50th.
Yes,
and,
right.
So that'll be exciting. I hope I get to do something with you.
I know.
Hope we do something.
I would love that.
We'll put you in Wayne's
We
World.
got to start thinking about. Yes, please. That's one of the first movies I think I had memorized. That's probably I have the most memorized of all movies.
Oh, I like to play. Sorry, I was trying to think of one line.
And I think I did you bought me a gun rack. And I'm like, what am I going to do with a gun? I don't even own a gun.
A gun.
All of it.
Great
our
line.
whole lives
Great
are
movies.
surreal. But anyway, best of luck to you. I'm going to be watching your show with my sister who's visiting tonight.
Schmigadoon. And the new one is April 5th.
And it comes out April 5th for the next season.
Yes.
All right.
Well, thanks, guys.
Our pleasure.
A real honor and joy.
A pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jay Moore is a cast member that, Dana started when I was there.
As a very young man.
He came in. Yeah. Jay Moore, who people know now, but he came from SNL. He had some great impressions, Walken, a few others, and very good mimic of that. He had a run there, went off. He does a lot of sports. He does a lot of stand-up. Knows a lot about a lot.
Been in a lot of great movies.
Oh, yeah. Did a movie with Aniston. He's done a lot of stuff. Beat Me Out for a part in a movie. We talk about that.
We did do you remember when we did our special about the great Chris Farley, those 2 episodes?
Yeah.
Well, Jay came in and had some very, very funny stories. Some of it I thought was folklore, but he was there or maybe instigated it. So anyway, I would stay tuned for his really funny stories about the great Chris Farley.
Oh, he's got so many Farley stories about everything in 8H, and also talks about lately his marriage to Jeannie Buss.
Yeah, he's a newlywed, and he's in a really good space.
Interesting. Yeah, he's gone through a lot, and we fucking laughed the whole time. That was great.
Enjoy Jay Moore, please.
Dana left before I came on.
When did you come on?
91.
91. I was there till 93.
Wait. Do you know who Dana is?
Which one?
Are you a Church Slave fan, or are you more
Which
of a
one's
Garth
Dana?
guy?
Are you Coffee Machine?
You're
fan?
Dana?
No,
It's in our
You're
contract.
Dana.
I had to grow this so we look even
I
more
was
similar.
not on Saturday Night Live with you, Dana.
But we both were there in
it's not
92,
adding
so
up.
there's a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
When you and I were there, David,
Yeah.
was Dana there also? No.
Well, let me
I
ask
came
you a
in with
question.
Sarah and Norm and David Tell.
Later.
Did you do it with Sarah and Norm? And Dave Attell?
No, that was later.
Okay.
So you weren't there in 92 because that's when I was doing, was Wayne's World happening all the time?
What is this? What's Wayne's World?
Okay.
Let's
All
back up.
So you missed it by
That much. I used to just by a little bit. A birdie told me.
But I remember
missed
being
it by
there
that.
once where Franken and
David's
Chris
writing down
Farley
missed it
were
by
going to
that much.
fight. Franken and Chris Farley were going to wrestle. And I remember you hanging around, and I remember, Jay, like you were like, I could take both you guys kind of, like you were going to, there was a 3, so I don't know if you ever
I do remember that now.
Yeah.
And I also remember David and it's so weird to call you David.
Yeah. You can call me Spade.
And Fred Wolf were in the graphics room.
I knew Fred Wolf would come up immediately.
He's the best. Fred.
You're really funny. You're not so funny. That's really good. We shouldn't do that.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I talk to you
the
for a
6 shooters up here,
David,
it was really good. You're really good.
I've told you a story, but I'm going to talk to you for 1 second. I'm going to talk to you, and I have a question for you.
I just remember a waiter coming over, going, "Get the fuck out of here!" He's in the middle of a punchline, and the waiter would walk up. He goes, "Get the fuck out of here! Get the fuck out of here!"
Because they always come on the punchline.
Because I wasn't as funny as you. But
Yeah.
I was pretty good, right? But I wasn't as funny as you guys.
So Spade and Fred Wolf are in the graphics room, and I walk in to see what they're doing. Then Farley walks in, and then Fred's like the master manipulator. Chris, Jay wrestled, you wrestled.
No.
Jay, Jay says he could kick your ass at wrestling, and I'm like, I'm 23 years old. I'm like, absolutely. And Chris
you were a young.
Chris is just like, yeah, all right. So we square up to wrestle.
He's not even in his
This was in the writer's room where we.
No, this is in the graphics room.
Oh, okay.
Where's that?
It was Franken in the writer's room.
On the way to Lauren's office.
Okay.
And it was just you and Fred were just doing private time or something.
Some graphics.
What happened?
So I made the mistake of shooting in on Chris's legs, and he just collapsed on top of me. And then I went to my stomach, and I brought my elbows in, and Chris, for the next 6 minutes, sat on my back going and I
you
really
couldn't get out.
No, I really thought my life was going to end.
Sure.
Chris,
He was
and I was trying to say, Chris, you're trying
890
to break my back. And after 6 minutes, David saved me. He goes, "Get the fuck off him."
Come on, Chris.
And
Let
he
the
just
guy
jumped.
live.
Sure,
He just went-
Davey.
By the way, first of all, it was all Fred's fault.
Okay. Jay is miming Chris Farley's
Heart
little
attack.
running thing.
His heart attack thing where he always hits this, or he goes,
son of a.
I have, are you supposed to have a tingling feeling in your left arm? It's going numb. Yeah. So what about when he walked you to the elevator? Wasn't he mad about that?
Oh, I pinned him.
Yeah.
So the rematch was it was Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey. It was wow.
I was the referee.
I was reading your name right there. It was Alec Baldwin. I get you guys confused all the time.
Me and Alec, we know it's just a thing.
It was Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger were co.
They were there
mingling.
Yeah,
Okay.
and my follow up to that was like it really like bugged me because I'm like as the
Can I
days-
ask for a second? How good were you at wrestling?
You're a good
average.
wrestler.
I'm
Average.
much better as an adult than I
What was
as a
the
kid.
weight when you took on Farley? What was your weight?
I was probably 160.
Okay, so you were as lean. Okay, so talk about how you pinned him by the
12, 20.
elevator. How did you pin a 5'6", 270-pound man?
He was sitting on the couch.
That's about what I figured he was at his prime.
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah.
You get him right after he went to Wally and Joseph's and he had shells.
Wally and Joseph's.
He's taking a nap.
That was our go-to restaurant
Close.
in New York.
He was sitting on the couch right inside the
Oh.
right inside the writer's room.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I walked in. I said, "Hey," I said something to him. I was like, "Hey, fat boy, you still want to go?"
No.
And he went to get up, and everyone's sitting at the giant table.
Yeah,
So
Hey,
there's
right.
fat boy, you still want
There's
to
like
go.
40 people
Going,
including
why are you doing
Alec
this?
Baldwin again. I was nuts.
Yeah.
Untreated alcoholism.
What are you doing?
Untreated.
Totally. And he went to get up. His mistake was it's like never getting a fight, getting out of your car, you're
Yeah.
dead. So he got caught in that limbo between getting up.
Starting halfway
And
up.
then where'd you go
So
to?
I went my right arm around his head and I just went bodied into him. And then we just were falling forward. And then I
Right.
clasped my hands under his
Oh my
like back
God.
of his knee. So we did like a somersault into the
Fuck.
room. And I put my knee in his side and my forehead on his temple.
Oh,
and
my-
I just, because I knew if I let him go, he'd kill me.
Yeah, no way.
So it's like when you're fighting a bully,
You are brave.
I don't want to let him go because he'll beat me up in front of Alec Baldwin.
1,000%.
More importantly, Kim Basinger.
Jesus.
Don't
And
look,
so
Kim.
I let him go. And everyone's staring at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing? So then I slap Chris's ass. I go, now we're even. And I get up and I'm walking to the night elevators. I don't know why I turned left instead of right. And I just hear this like running of the bulls behind me. And I turn. And it's like the entire room has emptied out. And they're walking towards me. But in front of them, Chris is walking like a zombie, like in a Scooby-Doo, like with the big leg. And his eyes are up in his head, like, and his palms are out.
Terrifying.
So I had that time to get to the elevator. And I'm hitting the button, and I'm hitting the button. The night elevator opens, and it's filled with people from the Rainbow Room. It's just a wall of black tie and gowns, just taffeta and fucking Ben Gay, just all these. So I wedge into the elevator, and then Chris is walking towards the elevator. Now he's going to kill me, and there's going to be collateral damage. And I go, "Look, everybody, that's Chris Farley!" And the whole elevator, like on an episode of Newhart, just goes, "Ah!" And he goes, and he just turned around and walked away. And the elevator door
You got
closed.
so lucky.
I got he would have fucking murdered me.
Oh my God! Did he get that temper
But
going?
the only reason I lived is because he had to get the laugh, even in that, even that, like instead
revenge.
of running at me and grabbing me. Once everybody was mobile, he was like,
I remember. I told Dana. I said, I remember that. I
the
think
greatest.
Chris and Jay. There was a wrestling situation, and then Jay got the best of him and went into the elevator. I just remember the elevator.
I made him turn purple.
Oh, he got the best of him. I almost killed him.
So you had skill.
You had a lot of confidence.
Well, I watch a lot of UFC, so
You see me on that?
Well, I've seen guys that look like you. I don't know, but leverage a smaller person can.
The way he was getting up off the couch was just a godsend. I got really lucky, and it just took my shot.
Well, he was just obviously,
and he wasn't ready at
all. He was quick.
No, he was just like, hey,
he's like,
he always went like punchline first. He's like, all right, young fella.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you?
Lady. Sorry.
I remember when Dave Attell and I were in the office, and Farley walked in at like 1 a.m. on a Thursday. It was just like, whoa. And he's like, what are you guys doing? And at the same time, like creepy twins, we said, we'll pay you $100 to shit out the window.
Oh, you initiated that infamous
that?
And he just went, oh, give me the money first.
Give me the money first.
And so he did this more than once?
17th floor.
No, we had to fill out a police report because they thought he was a jumper.
So he opens the window. Does he take down his pants? I mean,
yes.
And then he puts his ass out. So
and it was obvious right away he didn't have to shit at all because he turned like purple from effort. He was just like, ugh!
So nothing happened.
No, like one little thing.
One hairy milk dud.
And hit Lorne Michaels, who was coming back from Orsos. Excuse me, Paul. Do you have a napkin?
Cancel
got
his
a little
second
bit
song.
of feces on you.
One of the feature players shit on me.
It fell in the window onto my desk.
Oh,
what? So you initiate it and you become the victim.
Yeah, and then there was nothing to wipe his ass with.
well.
So we wiped. I always leave this part of the story out out of respect, but you guys know we can't love
Chris.
anyone more.
No.
Yeah.
So he wiped his ass with his hand.
Hand is the only
For
option.
people listening who think being on Saturday Night Live is a barrel of monkeys, you're right, and this is an example
because when
of how much fun it is.
He would come in my office and go, yeah, I have got a greasy trail, which I figured out later what it was. And he'd take my USA Today and go, give me a piece of that. And, you can do the rest.
So after he wiped his ass with his hand, he went back to that mummy walk and he fucking chased us around the 17th floor with the shit on his hand.
With the mummy walk and shit on his hands.
And I'm running down the hallway past like research, and there's those bookshelves in the hallway. And me and Dave Attell are running side by side. And I'm like, we're not going to make this side by side. We got to go single file. But I don't want to be in the back. And Dave, like, I'm like 2 years removed from competitive wrestling. And Dave Attell, a chain smoking, miserable guy, just passes me like he's on a jet ski.
Yeah.
And I hit the bookcase. My shoulder like pops out. And I'm just laying on my back.
Oh, no.
And Chris, for like minutes, is just standing over me going,
Oh, with that. Didn't you have that broomstick, though? Or was that or we don't talk about
that was,
We don't talk about
Oh, that's even more. Okay. Yeah.
well,
it's
the
good.
writer's
There's the
room.
yellow.
The writer's room was a very fun late night, chaotic place, and we're even Downey. Everyone's looking for any reason not to write.
The first sketch I ever handed Downey, I didn't know like he slept there. He was going through some shit.
Yeah.
And he just wanted us around like in the loneliest hours between 3 and 6 a.m. So remember he'd make us watch like Joliet High School basketball. Like, look at this. Look at the ball movement. Oh, you were out by then.
He
You were at
did
some
like to
fucking
talk
party.
about, like, if I ever got in that Downey's office, which all we wanted to do is get Downey's expertise. And he was, he's been there for 20 years. So when we get in there, he goes, Spade, what is going on in Arizona? And then I would go through all that, but I'm trying to go through my progression so I can get to my horrible sketch that he's not going to like. And I would talk and talk and just talk. And we would just talk. And Schneider, let me in. I'm next. Too much time. So 2 a.m, you leave, and then Schneider goes in. And then, but poor Jim, that's what he had to do, is just take okay ideas. One time he did say something smart. He goes, well, he always said something smart.
Yeah.
But he said something that I remembered, where he goes, there's times when you're going to give me an idea and I'm just going to say, I don't think you should write it. And I can't really tell you why. I just know it probably won't get on. And I can't even articulate, it's just not right. And I said, okay, fair enough. And sometimes I would do it and he goes, I don't think that's the one. And I'd be like, this is one of the guys that decides. So why go through the motions of writing? Unless it's going to be so primo, he has to overturn his opinion, but he just goes, And that's hard to do. It's hard to tell someone not to write something.
The first sketch I ever handed him was the Christopher Walken Psychic Friends Network.
That had to have gotten on, didn't it get on?
Eventually. And, but I was, I didn't see him till like 9 a.m.
Oh.
And I finished it at like midnight.
So you stayed the whole
I
night.
stayed,
you
I slept on the
waited.
couch and this.
Wow.
And then they go, oh, you can go. I think it was Laurie Joe goes, you can go see him. And then he's sitting on his fucking little couch, brushing his teeth. It's like a face of foam.
Yeah.
And he goes, let me see it. And I go, hey. And I hand it to him. And he puts his palm out like this. And I put the sketch in his palm. And he goes, yeah, it feels a little long.
He just waited out
And then handed it back to you?
He was right, though.
Oh.
my God.
I mean,
Feels a little heavy.
it was a heavy sketch.
Yeah.
It was long.
I'd get there and sometimes there was a Franken or maybe, was it Rosie Schuster? They would be
Rosie
like
Schuster.
18 pages and read through.
Now,
Read it.
Who is that? Which one's that?
Franken.
Oh, Franken. Okay.
I remember I had Franken somehow in like some sketch that was gonna get on. I think it was like Good Morning Brooklyn or something.
Yeah.
It was gonna get on. Like it was just the vibe was there.
Yeah.
And I had Franken and no, it was Psychic Friends. It was the walk-in sketch. And Schneider goes, you gotta switch out. No, you gotta switch out Franken. You can't. And I go, no, this is funny because he's like the guy. And he goes, no, don't put Franken in your sketch. And I go, why not? He goes, follow me. And we walked out of the office, around the corner, down the hallway, and there's that, the framed photos. And it's when they were having the white sale with slaves with Belushi and I guess Bill Murray. And then the third one is Franken. And they're just standing there like, whatever. And Franken's like,
Oh, yeah.
like all puffed up chest. He goes, that's why.
Because he's overacting.
That's why.
Schneider's an old soul.
Schneider Schneider
No,
will tell you
you
what's
don't
on his
want him.
mind.
No.
you're a fucking rookie. What do you know?
You don't know what you're doing. They're poisoning our water.
Well, he can also note you in your own sketch,
no, he's great.
because he was one of the ones that got to pick
love Rob.
sketches. So that was, I'm talking Franken, like he would,
Oh, man.
if he's in it, he's also a writer and he's also one of the producers that picks sketches. So he has a lot of control of your own sketch, which might
That
rub you wrong.
is the Game of Thrones of SNL.
Yeah.
Partnering with someone, even if you go into the room and you go, I kind of have an idea, be like your psychic walking, and then let them start the ball rolling. Oh, that's great. That's great. So they get proprietary. So when Lauren is there, anyone walking psychic, they're involved.
Yeah. See, I didn't know any of that.
Oh.
Yeah, I think when Jay started, I don't know if I knew you. Did I know you ahead of time or I just knew you there?
No.
Okay, so I think we all had trouble when we got there. Me, everybody. I had a lot because I couldn't quite. I had this dope that was better than me. This guy, Dana. So when I got
David's
there,
always there.
when I got
he
there,
was like my protege.
I was the longest feature player. Rob went first, Sandler went first, Farley. They all went to cast, and so I stayed an extra year in the on the bench, kind of. And I remember when I think you came on, it was like kind of tough, and maybe I tried to tell you, and at the beginning, in my recollection, you were like, I know it's hard. I know how it is. But the truth was you can't even be prepared. It's like, you know it, and you get there and you go, well, my sketch was funny. What's going on? And then that's exactly what happened to me.
How did you get
start
on?
to go, how do you, and then after 3 weeks of that, like I gave my best sketch the first week and it almost got on. And then after that, it was a lot tougher because that was the one I worked on. I go, this has to work. And then another week comes by, another week, and if you're not getting stuff on, you start to lose your mind.
Let me ask both of you guys a question. I mean, the first year, I kind of harvested or adapted stuff that I'd worked for me in clubs a lot of the time. So I'm wondering what were your killer bits when you got it? And you too, Jay, like how you got the show. I mean, your walking is right up there with any
but my style, I'm more of a mimic, so I didn't have, like, you're really great, Dana, at like your original characters. And
but I'm just doing an impression of a person I met, kind of. It's a close,
right, but it's still an original thing. Like I'm just mimicking. And I remember when Jim Downey said, go to the guys, go around to the other guys' offices and just do impressions. Let them know what you. And I was like so offended. Like I'm not going to be a door-to-door salesman.
Fucking clown.
But that's exactly what I should have done. If I could have done it over again, I would have just walked into your office and been like.
I wrote a list out of everyone that I did.
Really?
And just passed it all around.
Yeah, my narcissism.
That's smart.
Well, what did you? Who were you doing at that point? This mid-90s.
Who'd you come in with?
You've been in clubs for a few
the
years.
Hacky shit, like Pesci.
Nothing's hacky.
Sure.
Pesci's
De
hard.
Niro, Andrew McCarthy was that?
Oh
Never heard that one.
I think
From what movie?
We did eyes too.
We did it. I love her, man.
Oh yeah.
We did it with Phil on Sassy when he had that talk show.
Sassy, yeah. We were just talking about Sassy.
Oh yeah, that was.
With Phil Hartman.
But see, that's funny. Like if it's not accurate for me, like that's just funny. I love her so much. I mean,
I love her, man.
It's just a funny rhythm, funny attitude, and then you just say that's Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah, and it works because if you have one move, the eyes, the voice is close enough, there you get your laugh. That's all you need, really, in those sketches.
And I did a bunch of black like Arsenio and Tracy, but he wasn't famous yet.
Glad it was 1995.
Oh, yeah. Cripple pussy, stay wet.
So you're doing
crippled pussy?
Yeah, that's why I got these wheelchair gloves, David Spade.
And this was seeing him in the clubs. He wasn't on SNL?
Yeah, I went to go see him at the Improv. And I walk into the Improv and he's fist fighting the audience in the hallway before they redid it. And I go to help him. It was like 80 against 1. And he's just like, yeah, I miss my daughter, God damn it. And then I go to help him in the fight and he turns to punch me in the face. And his fist stops like right at my face. And he stops and he goes, I'm not going to fuck with you, Jay Morris. You legendary. That was his way of saying,
either of you?
I almost just punched you in the face.
I put a baby in you, Jay.
Yeah, Jay Moore got me boy pregnant. I like when Tracy does observational humor, but it's only observational to Tracy. He's on stage in like Oxnard. Who else remembers finger fucking Portuguese girls on the handball courts? You know what I'm talking about.
You know what I'm talking
about. Old white people with turquoise. They all have like turquoise jewelry on. They're all like earthy.
From Montecito. They just went down to Oxnard.
You know them Portuguese girls been giving up the pussy. On their handball courts.
Well, Tracy, we're not going to have you back.
Oh, okay.
God damn, that's so funny. That's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Daryl Hammond tells a story of Tracy, like, was Daryl's savior. Like, Daryl was struggling, and Tracy goes, we got to go give respect to the man. Like, this is the streets, Daryl. So he's got to go, like, we have to have, like, our meeting with Lauren. Just let him know we're soldiers.
Oh, okay.
And so they wait for like 2 hours, and they finally get in. And Lauren's like, I have a seat, guys. Hold on a second. Hello, Mick. It's like Mick Jagger calls. They're sitting in those big fucking chairs
waiting.
And he's like, 1 second. Hello, Mick. How's the tour? And then they start talking, and Dick Cheney's office calls.
Dick Cheney? Jagger and then Cheney?
Yeah. They're just getting more emasculated. So it's like 8 minutes total. And then he goes, all right, thanks. And they go outside the office. And Tracy looks at Daryl and goes, there ain't no eye rolling in that motherfucker, D.
And that meant
like we're in the big leagues.
Yeah.
There ain't no eye rolling in that motherfucker, D.
Yeah.
So did you partner up with with Daryl a little bit, but two impressionists.
We've been doing shows.
Oh, really?
Now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Like just a night of impressions. Like he does 20 minutes, I do 20 minutes.
Do you have any
And then
overlappers?
Q&A, is this the two of you? And then-
We shut down the Q&A last year because it's like, the Q&A is like, do Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't do...
Q&As are tough.
Yeah, we like to take all the variables out. And then, but we have a guy, Greg Baldwin, who's like the moderator. He's like the James Lipton.
Mm-hmm.
And then we do, we just go back and forth. We tell a couple stories. And then we'll do like speed round, which is mostly cartoons.
That sounds great. That
I
sounds like a
mostly
great show.
cartoons.
You like cartoons?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Muppet?
Kermit.
Yeah.
No,
I hold Kermit the Frog.
No, I like some other ones.
Cookie Monster.
Who's the homeless guy?
Are you guessing or like who is your favorite Muppet?
No, I don't.
Are you guessing your
I'm
own
not a
favorite?
Muppet guy. I'd be
Shemp.
I'm not a Muppet guy.
Beaker.
you know.
Beaker's tight.
See?
And his
Dana?
boss, Professor
Whoa.
Professor
Is
Honeydew.
that the bald guy?
Yeah, he had no eyes, but he had glasses.
Muppets are killing it.
I'm not a Muppet guy.
I'm old school. I like Bert.
Oh, yeah, Bert and Ernie. What was the story with them?
Everybody,
Yeah, one came out, right?
everybody thinks Bert's an asshole, but Ernie just wore him down until
Yeah.
he snapped.
Bert's just runs a tight ship.
Yeah.
And Ernie
Military guy.
Ernie was a
Navy
bit,
guy.
Yeah, Ernie was kind of a fuck around.
Bert's a total Navy guy. Make the bed nice and
Yeah.
early.
They have to be a little opposite to make it work, I think.
So going back to Dana's question,
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't really bring anything other than impressions in with me. But then I kept my impressions like a secret. And then I had resentments that nobody was writing
Dumbest thing you've ever
sketches.
done.
Yeah, which is, again, untreated
Because I mean, you
alcoholism.
did all these movies, and I see you like
Oh, wait,
as an
I got
actor.
a
it's
question for you.
interesting that
I'm
you-
jumping around. I'm
Co-host
sorry.
is talking, David.
My co-host was asking you something.
I was just saying,
He's
you're more
paying-
than an impressionist in your career. You know, sports commentator. You're,
That's not what I was going to say.
Well, that's the thing with impressions too. When people go, "How come you don't do impressions when you're on stage?" It's not, to me. It's not stand up. It's a whole different toolbox.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm kind of cheating. Like this isn't stand up. I'm just doing these fucking
Well,
voices.
it used to be. I would get teased a lot in San Francisco, like Bobby Slayton. Yeah, do a funny voice. Do a funny voice. You know, that's all you do. And then I walked into the Holy Cities of this little club one night, and he's doing one of the Bowery Boys. That's like his big closer.
The Bowery Boys.
Yeah, the Bowery Boys. Sorry.
Timely.
Going back.
Hang on.
Yeah, it seems like it's a big advantage just to have impressions to go to, maybe not depend on, but to go to on that show.
Only if people know that you have them.
Didn't you just go around the office and go, hey, how about this? You guys say
It was,
they literally never
didn't say
found
I-
out you got this secret
No,
weapon?
they found out. Like, it would be like whatever movie was playing.
Right.
I would start quoting the movie because I just talk in movie quotes all the time anyway. So that's how I got Keitel on. And
Keitel.
look, I understand you're super fucking pissed. Joe,
Harvey Keitel.
I don't know what you think you know, but you're wrong. He's a good kid.
Keitel, I never hear anyone do.
Well, nice to know you paid attention to the broadcast. We did it. You were in the sketch.
No, I know.
We did.
Wow, SNL secret.
What one was it?
Where do you guys hide the cameras?
We're not filming this stupid thing. That's why
we couldn't afford it. We didn't
keep
have the
budget.
describing
eye?
what you're doing because we're stupid. No, my eye is fucked up. I was
happened,
going to tell
sweetie?
you when you came in. I don't know. I woke up, my eye was red on the side, so it looks like shit. But I think it's
Did you have
not life-threatening.
Did you have characters when you came in, or
we did the thing where you, like what you guys are saying about your stand-up, mine was just stories and stand-up and punchlines and just talking. So I really wasn't loaded to go in there to go, I think it's a good idea to go into the offices and say, hey guys, I can do this, or hey, if you ever need something. But you have to, I'm wondering why does no one write for me, but no one even knows who I am and they don't give a fuck. And they've got 10 guys that are great right there to pick from. So you almost have to go sell yourself, which is what we both didn't do. And I didn't have as much to offer. Like I was just like sort of sarcastic. That might have been what they picked up just around the office or talking at the read-through table or at rewrites. But you had some things that were useful, like impressions and attitudes. So I guess it would have been good for you to go to Smigel, go to Conan, go to those guys, whoever was still around. Jack Handy probably wouldn't have written that much for either of us because he was writing his own stuff that was almost didn't need people.
Well, you want to have a reason
You know what I mean?
to do the impression that's kind of organic.
Those
or
guys
feels
make a good
right?
yeah?
Rather
sketch
than just
around
a
your impression.
cavalcade of,
it was funny, like the things that don't get on, like when you're just swinging for the fences because you've had no sketches on for so long. I remember me and Steve Luckner had Christopher Walken as a waiter at Fridays, and that was the whole sketch.
Oh, just that you
like you should have a dessert. It's Mount Fudgeopolis. And we would laugh like that.
Oh, it's fucking
and then
hilarious.
It goes to the table and it just takes a dump.
Why?
Yeah, that's such a funny.
It was funny, but it's just like, what is the
point?
sketch? The
Yeah.
sketch is
What
like,
is it
hey,
about?
I work here, right?
I remember Andy Robin had a sketch. He wound up going on Seinfeld as a writer, but when he was on SNL, he had a sketch where people walk by each other in an office and they go, "How you doing?" He goes, "This week," or something. They kept missing what they were saying, and that they'd say the wrong answer. You know what I mean? Like he misheard him or something or something dumb. But it was just walk-bys, the whole sketch, I think. And then he submitted it probably 5 times. And that is the hardest thing to do is if you're not getting on. And the second time you put a sketch in, I've done it, it's got a stink on it. No matter why it didn't get on the first time. Even if the host, it got cut after dress or it killed, but then it bumped with something, the second time just isn't as good. And it's just harder and harder to get something on. Did you resubmit things? You were saying you did.
Yeah,
Christopher
Psychic
Walken?
Friends Network, because it got, why did it get cut?
How did it get cut?
It was first week with Charles Barkley and Nirvana when I did Barkley versus Barney.
Oh, that's great.
As the cold open, which was just, I
great.
panicked. I was like, Barkley, but like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And then I had to write it. And then,
And you were Barney the dinosaur? Sorry.
no, it's just because there was commercials of Charles Barkley playing basketball against Godzilla for Nike at the time. So I was like,
That's a
Barkley
great
versus
idea.
Barney.
It's
And then I was
terrible.
like, oh, this is great. Okay, I'm in. And then we shot it at Hunter College. It was like the next morning at like 8 a.m. Thursday morning. And then when I get there, like Al Franken's just got like Video Village. And he's like, all right, he's got a shot list. Which in hindsight, thank God, because I was like, you guys play basketball, you beat up the guy in the Barney suit. They had a stunt man in a Barney suit.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was like, it's a very unfair tug of war. Guy that's been there 8 days, Al Franken, the guy that's going to be a senator. And
the new guy. Yeah.
and the big argument was he didn't. At one point, I had Barkley kneeing, just basketball's out the window, and he just knees Barney in the nuts. And Franken goes, "No, we're not doing that." And he goes, "You can't have you can't have Charles Barkley kneeing Barney in the nuts."
You can't?
And that was like my only like thing where I dug in, and I was like, "This has to be." And we wound up doing it, but it was really bizarre.
Was it in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, got a lot.
And so the Psychic Friends Network, it was Nirvana and Barkley. No, sorry. It was the second week with the Shannon Doherty.
Yeah.
Oof. And Cypress Hill.
What do you mean, oof?
Well, I'll tell you. So I had, so the conceit of the sketch is Christopher Walken's the last guy you want getting inside your head and helping you with psychic issues. It's like, I can help you with romance. I could be in your garage waiting for you when you get home. Security. And so
That's a really good tone you have.
And then we had other, like David was Crispin. You were Crispin Glover. Yeah. Like, hey, I want to help you. It's all these celebrities that you don't want.
Yeah, okay.
And then we got away to a phone, and the phone doesn't ring because everybody's freaked out, and he keeps going, "Why aren't you calling?" And I had Shannon Doherty as Sean Young in the cat suit because the story at the time was like she showed up to Warner Brothers dressed as Catwoman because she wanted the part, and she freaked everybody out. And then Shannon Doherty, like on Friday, says, "I'm not comfortable making fun of Sean Young." And it was like,
this
Pac-Man noise.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. A sketch loses momentum for that, and now you have to resubmit it.
Oh, I was fucking heated. And then, so I was, not on that show. I thought my life was over. And then it was week 3, Aerosmith and Jeff Goldblum. And I was in the writer's room just sulking, just being a fucking baby. And Lauren comes in and goes, how's the Christopher Walken sketch coming? And I said, I'm not going to do it this week. And he goes, I think you have guilt and momentum on your side.
Ooh.
And I was like,
fucking.
I didn't have a computer. I was writing on yellow legal pad, looking I didn't know where to hand it in. Like, I don't know where to hand in a sketch. Yeah, Claire. Claire went home at fucking 10. It's 3 a.m.
She's just trying to hand it to somebody.
was
Yeah,
like
all the
Mad
guys are
Men.
hitting a button on their computer, and the sketch goes to the magic sketch place. I didn't have.
it sucked because you go in there. First of all, you write on a legal pad. I go home at 3 a.m, finish writing it. I have to take a cab back from the Upper West Side to hand it in to Claire and the Mad Men girls that are typing it.
Yeah.
And then I go back home, and then I come back for read through. So it wasn't like attachment send. There was no laptop, so it was fucking horrible. Remember, that's how it was for you, right?
Yeah, and I didn't know. I knew nothing about writing a sketch.
Yeah,
I didn't
open
know
on.
if you're in the sketch. I don't know if I write David or do I write Crispin.
Yeah.
Like I
still
the
don't,
basic the lowest common
That's a
denominator.
good question.
I'm not sure I know right at this
Yeah.
Oh, and
moment.
back then, did we put
I just fucking
names of
We put
us?
names?
no.
So
You put the
cast
name
knew?
of the character.
No, you put character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember. I saw yesterday Ian Maxtone.
Remember
and
when
Dave
him and-
Mandel.
Remember when
Writer from
who do you
SNL.
when
fight with, Norm?
Norm knocked him out cold. You remember that?
I think he
You
scored
were
in
always
one.
I don't
Why
ever
not?
see Norm
No,
being
Dave,
violent.
say whatever you're about to say.
Dave was. Why not?
I don't know. Because-
Norm violent? I never
Okay,
saw Norm.
I was
Dave
always what?
Hey, I don't want to say I was violent.
He squirted it with
Hey.
water,
by
right?
chance, But
It was a cigarette thing.
so Norm would smoke after the no smoking. Like this is people don't understand. Like it used to be like you could smoke in buildings. It was like whatever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like, by the way, like you're not allowed to smoke in buildings anymore. So there was a grace period of people like, oh, that's right, I forgot, or they didn't care. So
Yeah.
Norm was on the same where Farley got, where I tackled Farley. He was on that couch smoking,
Pinned.
and Ian Maxtone Graham, all 6'10" of them, walks in with his little faggy yogurt. He always had
Excuse
like
me?
You
yogurt.
mean gay,
Yes.
a festive yogurt.
Happy. That was the name of it. Was Happy Gay Yogurt, and he walks in with his yogurt and oats, and Norm smoking, and he had a plastic cup of water, and he
Yep.
just looked at Norm, and he threw the water on Norm, and Norm just stood up, one punch out.
Norm was
I was there for
deceptively a big guy. You don't really think of it. I mean, he was sort of a beanpole in a way in the 90s.
He got
but
thicker.
big.
Do you remember when you guys did the crystal meth sketch? Like you were like Tony Robbins, the weight loss guy. I think it was you and Fred, and it was Ride the Snake.
Oh, yeah,
And it
Ride
was-
the Snake.
You know, they show basically you get people hooked on meth to lose weight,
Yeah.
and on those commercials where they'll show like an outline of a fat body, and it says like after 6 weeks, and it goes in a little bit. This one was like 6 hours, and it was like a skeleton.
Yeah.
And so they had this thing of Farley at a drive-through window, a pre-filmed piece, and he's like, "Let me have 14 cheeseburgers, 14 apple pies, 22 French fries, and 3 chocolate milkshakes." And the guy in the box goes, "Will that be all?" And he goes, "No, I'll also have." So we argued for 2 hours over what the back end of that order should be. Like he should just repeat the exact same order, or like,
Oh,
no,
right.
make that Diet Coke,
Yeah.
or no, give me 3 apple pies. And for 2 hours, it just goes around and around
in the
and
writer's
around.
room, yeah.
And Norm was in the corner of the room. Like I think it was 3:30 in the morning at this point. Norm goes, "Hey, you guys have Chris at that drive-through window, go and give me all these burgers, And the guy in the box goes, "Hey, will that be all?" And how about Chris says, "Yes."
That's a great Norm.
And then when they
That's an
filmed
incredible Norm.
it, Chris had like this look of incredible pride. The guy goes, "Will that be all?" I remember his
Leans on
arms
his
the-
elbow.
He goes, "Yes." So it was already working for him. Like he had different habits at this point in his crystal meth
And
career.
crushed, right?
I mean, I
It
think
was amazing.
he could
But
get
like
a laugh.
Norm with one syllable, we were just a pack of dogs hunting in the wrong direction. And Norm's like, "Hey, yes."
simplified it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
It
we
was
would go back
amazing.
and forth over mini jokes like that, like how do you get out of a sketch? And if you're the writer of the sketch, or if it's your sketch, you do get to pick. Like you get a Downey throwing a joke in, a Smigel, a Franken. It's great, and you get to add. You like when Rob did Copy Machine, and everyone's like Sting, and everyone throw in anything, and you get the benefit of a room. Every sketch does, not just Rob's. Everyone. That's fun.
Downey, I remember once it was like week 3, and he goes, I want to talk to you about comedy writing at some point. And I was like, oh, yeah.
About what? Comedy writing?
Comedy writing. I was like, great. And so I was like, hey, you got time? And he's like, no, not today. It'll be like down the line. Me and you are going to sit down. I want to talk to you about comedy writing. So it's like week, I don't know, 17.
Yeah.
And he goes, Jay, what are you doing? He goes, when are we going to have that talk about comedy writing? And I was like, I'm ready. And he goes, come on in.
Oh.
And I go in his office and he goes, you know what the 3 funniest words in comedy are? I go, no. He goes, full-blown AIDS.
Full-blown AIDS.
And I go, yeah? He goes, yeah. All right.
Thanks for coming by.
That was it?
He set me up for 4 months.
Set you up.
4 months. And then he says,
When are we going to have that talk? Full-blown
We
AIDS.
saw Downey this week,
Really?
and I haven't
I had
seen
dinner
him
with him last
forever.
night.
Yeah.
he talked about the Indian-British War in 1740 for like an hour. Unbelievable
I love
mind.
that stuff.
This just in.
It's so fun to listen to him talk about American history. He'll go into a college library for hours in Yale or something.
I love when he turn up on sketches, or like when Smigel would turn up on a sketch. I always feel like, ooh,
It's
somebody
funny.
from the other side cracked through.
He cracked through. It's hard. Be a
Yeah.
feature player. I think Odenkirk and Conan were feature players, and they never got a fair shake to be in, especially when I was there. It was
The only time I saw Conan on camera was that Get Handsome sketch when Mike Myers was doing
right.
Get Handsome.
Handsome
Yeah.
Club
And he
or
was just
whatever.
one of the guys in the audience like, I got handsome.
Oh, yeah. That was probably for a Alec Baldwin type host, too.
How about the amount of rewrites when they're not needed? Like Mike Myers would just hand in these perfect sketches, and you just sit in a room for 8 hours when guys would just dissect his sketch.
Just
And
go,
was
it
like,
worked.
Bro, it's just
I know.
Mike.
Why are we doing
It's
it?
perfect.
If people at home don't know, the rewrite table, what did it start at 1 on Thursday after read through? Read through's Wednesday.
I mean, ideally,
it starts around 1,
but usually a little
roughly,
later.
and it goes till about 4 a.m. So you're there. That's a long haul. And every sketch gets about 2 hours or something. It just gets monotonous.
what was the name of the restaurant you mentioned?
Wally and Joseph.
I remember I went there. I felt like a big shot when you're like, come on, we're going to
Oh, yeah. It's fun.
Wally and Joseph's. But I always felt, because you came in with like Timmy and like you said, like Adam and Rob. And so you guys were kind of a group. And then when I came in, anytime I was with you guys, I felt like a freshman hanging out with seniors. It's
Who
like
was
you're in
you-
the conversation, but you're not real.
But you weren't part of like the next group. You were sort of a tweener kind of, right?
yeah, total.
Yeah.
It was me, Sarah, Norm, and all the Harvard guys like Steve Lookner,
Oh,
Lou
yeah,
Morton, Dave Mandel, and then Dave Attell also.
There's so many Ivy League writers on SNL.
I know.
I know. Where'd you go to? Did you go to college?
You know, no one's ever asked me that in my life.
Really?
Ever. That's the first. I used to
Where
do
you
a
go to
joke about it. Nobody's ever asked me, where'd you go to college? It's just implied.
Only because
That you
you're
didn't go.
mentioning the
New Jer-
Harvard guys, but
This is New Jersey
San
public
Francisco
school.
State,
Yeah.
baby, $95
this-
a semester.
Yeah?
Oh, it's just a joke school.
No,
It's
I was
not
a
Harvard,
straight
is it?
D student. Because there's no curriculum for stand-up comedy.
Right.
And so it's just like, what is this? We're adding letters. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah.
And then,
we're just.
then you go, but like,
So you
then
just
you
got
get-
in the clubs right out of high school then.
yeah, I started at 16, same as you.
16? I didn't start at 16.
Oh, what did I say? You didn't let me
You
finish.
said 20.
he said 60.
said
Yeah.
20.
Yeah, you didn't let me finish.
I have
Yeah.
another question for you. Ready? By the way,
he's doing
when
so
you
much.
look up research on you, it says what Jay's favorite songs are.
Really?
Why?
I think that was
Yeah.
a Don Imus question. You got to give him your top 5.
Oh,
All right, here, because it's
songs.
out in the ether. What's the difference between whether you could talk about your first marriage versus your recent marriage? I mean, being a mature,
is it easier to be married
adult,
later in life?
Being a mature adult, getting married as opposed to being young,
Lorne said
something wise.
every man should have 3 marriages. One
Minimum.
in his 20s and 30s, one in his 40s, and the third in his 50s when he knows what he really wants. And that's exactly how it went with me.
Oh,
You had
really?
3.
This
Did
is
you
my
have
third.
3?
Okay.
And Jeannie's the first. I'm not even gonna say marriage because I don't want to put anybody on blast, but like the first woman I've ever been with that just wasn't like depressed. So it's like
Interesting.
with her
There's some
career
blast.
and like her own, like, oh, I'm gonna go look at. I'm gonna go. What'd you say?
I said there's some blast. no, but I
Wait,
get it. But you're younger. I think
Expound
you're,
on that.
the one I knew was an actress, seemed like a great girl. And I think everyone just changes in life. So you change, maybe she changes, maybe it's a great run, and then it just turns into something else where it doesn't work out.
Well, was that the first one? I just was never like in love. It
Yeah.
was just sort of that's how it goes. That's the progression of a relationship. Somebody, you know, when you're dating somebody
Yeah.
and you're young, and they go, "Why don't we go steady?" And you're like, you know, because I'm from the '50s.
Yeah.
When are you gonna wear my sweater, my pin? When are you gonna do this? When are we gonna live together? And you're like, all right, fucking, you know, we'll live together. I'm turning into Colin Quinn. All right, we'll live together.
Yeah.
Let's not, you know, cohabitate too long. I digress. And
that
then
is
it's
a
like,
great Colin
when are
Quinn.
we
We
gonna
have to
get
call these out. He just did a brilliant Colin
when are we
Quinn.
going to get engaged? When are we going to get married? And the proposal was like, there's your ring. Are you happy? Like, that's actually how it went.
Yeah.
So that's not a good omen.
So how
That
long did
happens a
that
lot.
last?
6 years.
And then
But I was on the show and she was in LA. So I was,
Let me insert this. Did you ever hear Lauren say this? There's something about a man in his 40s and a woman in her 20s. They're both at the peak of their power.
Did he say that?
It's almost Dr. Evil.
that was almost Jimmy Stewart.
Yeah, they're both at the peak of their power. And the other quote, have you heard this one? I said it on the podcast, Lauren, again. Marriage is a prison that everyone's trying to escape into.
You know who said that? Kris Jenner. Anyway.
So the second marriage, what is...
I didn't even know what you said because I was, I'm embarrassed at how I was all fired up. I had Colin holstered.
Well, I wanted to call out that you're just, Jay is
said-
throwing in these subtle impressions. So give us a little
Wait,
Colin Quinn.
I'll give
No,
you
what was the quote though?
Oh yeah, marriage.
Marriage is a prison that everyone's trying to escape into.
Well, I don't feel that way this time because you gotta understand. Okay,
All right, hey, let's break it down.
as of today, I've been sober 2 years and 6 months.
Oh, that's it.
So I met Jeannie after my divorce, where a divorce is the biggest hole in your soul because you get married because you're certain it's an impossibility that you're going to get divorced. That's why you get married. Like, oh, this is it. This is great. And then when when the panels kind of start coming off the space shuttle, you get nuts.
Christy McAuliffe said the same thing.
And it feels to me like a marriage, the one thing a
Feed the
marriage
fish.
can't survive is contempt,
Yeah.
either from either side.
Well,
And,
if you were drink or whatever.
Well, what was your drug of choice? Were you
This
alcohol?
time it was Adderall. I went down. It helped me focus on getting.
I think more
And
people
did
do that.
Adderall.
so then you started taking it just to feel
I
okay?
think.
After the divorce, it was like, well, shit. Like I just wanted to like feel something. I've always been a drug addict and an alcoholic. It wasn't like this one event made me this thing. Like I was an alcoholic and drug addict when I was born, and long before I ever picked up a drink, I've always needed more than anybody else in every capacity.
And yeah, it's just a genetic brain
Like everybody else
chemistry.
has this like plan for a living that I'm not aware of, and I always felt like on the outside looking in. Like if you and I were kids and I was at your house and we were on your couch watching TV, I would spend that entire time trying to convince you that we were having a good time on your couch watching TV. Like I was just needy. Desperation's got a very distinct scent, and I stunk.
Well, yeah, that's we all are having a fist fight in our head.
Yeah.
Either a lot or a little.
Yeah.
You know.
So I quit drinking 1998, and then I used drugs alcoholically. I'm a big pill guy. I love pills. So it was like Vicodin and Norco, and then when I stopped that a couple of times, and then Adderall's the one that brought down the beast. And so that the divorce didn't make me use. I chose to go back to using drugs. Like I felt like I like having a secret. Like I'm getting away with something. Like
So this is right when the pandemic was starting, kind of.
Before, in the middle of the pandemic was fantastic. Oh, I was just snorting Adderall and I was paddleboarding and fishing from my paddleboard. I was just insane. I lived in Malibu on the water and I would just snort rails of Adderall.
Did it make you lose a tremendous amount of weight?
Oh yeah, I went into treatment at like 160. I just was all. I'll show you my before.
You know, Adderall's big. I was having lunch with people about only like a year ago, and the guy goes, "I wish I had my Adderall with me. I don't have one." And the waitress came out. He goes, "Do you have an Adderall?" And she goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Does everyone have Adderall?" He's like, "Yeah."
I know people just take a decent amount and then write or do a project.
Yeah.
But then addiction's a whole nother.
Well, it's hard to keep it in check, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I met Jeannie at the very beginning where it was like manageable. It's fun with problems, then it's problems. So she met me at the fun, and then it was fun with problems. I had a radio show and I interviewed her over the phone, and I imagined that there was like a vibe there over the phone. I like, all right, joining us now is Jeannie Buss on the hotline. And then I went to the Twitter DM. I asked her to do my podcast, and then I had left my house. I was staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel. And when I went to the elevators to go get her, when she walked out of the elevator, it was just, I was done. Like it was slow motion. It was actually,
that's great.
For me, it was love at
So you
first
talk to her on the phone or over in the radio, and then you see her in person. So the vibe is so strong, just instant.
I mean, I think it was
karma.
one-sided. Like, I don't think she had love at first sight, but I remember it was slow motion. I remember like there was a green elevator door and that palm tree carpet. I was like, whoa. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to be with her all the time. And then
she's a happy person is kind of what you alluded to. Like that's very
well. I'm a happy person too. Like that's.
But you were coming right off the addiction at that point.
Yeah, and it was like this person. Like I don't know. It was just like it was a puzzle piece that had been missing from my big jigsaw puzzle my whole life. I felt, and then my drug addiction got really bad, and she was at my intervention. Which was an intervention being the worst surprise party you'll ever go to. You walk in, like everybody you love is there, and you're like, "Hey, oh no!" And then I thought she did the intervention. So when you angry pack, you either never take your eyes off. You either don't look at them at all, or you never take your eyes off them.
Angry packing?
Yeah. So I was just angry packing for rehab, and I never took my eyes off of Jeannie. And then I got to rehab, and all I had was socks.
Because you did so badly.
Yeah. And then, so she stuck with me.
She stuck with you. That's a big deal.
I was a mess. If the world was fair, like we definitely wouldn't be together. I would have lost that prize. And we got married last week. It's 8 days today. We've been married.
Any SNL people?
No.
They're gross.
There's only 20 people.
Yeah, I guess the odds aren't
do you think
in our
all of
favor.
us...
David, I need you to pick the energy up a little bit.
This
Jay,
is the most high energy he's ever been.
NPR over here.
No, you're talking about something nice. I'm trying to shut the fuck up for a second. It's hard. It's very hard.
So now this marriage is like none other. Like nothing against the first two wives.
No, I think it's also like it's your last.
Yeah.
It's like I'm 53. Mm-hmm. And it's when you've been so humbled and demoralized and you've come completely undone, and then you've brick by brick and stone by stone built yourself back up into a human being that you've been meant to be the whole time, and that person's waiting for you at the end of that journey. Mm-hmm. I mean, who else would you want to spend the rest of your life?
What's your coping mechanisms when you feel bad? If it's not Adderall or whatever.
I'm a weird guy. Like I don't really.
Do you meditate? Do you take a hike?
Yeah, every day. I don't really feel bad though. I'm one of those weird. I'm wired weird. Like I'm
for an addict. Usually it's some
a
anxiety.
Comic even. Like I just wake up kind of fired up.
I always known you to be upbeat.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a happy dude. Yeah, I've always been that way. I don't know. Sometimes it's just the way your hard drive is installed.
I think so. It feels like it's a thermostat that you get at birth.
Yeah,
because even if I was on the cover of Rolling Stone or something, I felt I was always in this certain range on a 1 to 10, maybe 6 or a 7. Not happy-go-lucky, but it stayed kind of consistent.
And in addiction, it goes the other way, where it just becomes this mania. Yeah. Like also. When I was in my addiction, I was diagnosed manic depressive. I was diagnosed bipolar. And then I work a program and I go through 12 steps for a program that might be anonymous. And then that became, now I have like this monotheism for all of my problems. Like every single problem in my life, it can be remedied by the program.
So no one's suggesting medication or anything for
No,
bipolar?
I actually got off. That was the end of the story that I forgot to put in. Is I at about a year and a half sober, I got off all my medication. And it was a direct result of my drug addiction. It's like the old equalizers on a car stereo where you get them just right. And when you snort Adderall, you just blast them all up to 10 across treble, bass, fader, this. And then when you come off them, boom, they come crashing back down. And then you just keep jamming them back and forth. And it's just not an accurate gauge of how you're actually feeling, because you're either in mania or you're just completely panicked because you're going to run out of drugs.
Damn. Yeah. So Saturday Night Live is an emotionally violent place for anyone with mental health stuff. But I'm one of the best things I learned in recovery was that I am the reason for all of my suffering, which thrilled me, because if I'm the reason for my suffering, then I always have a solution. I can change how I'm looking at something, or I can go be of service and help somebody else. And then just because if I'm pissed off, it's really just a perverse
selfishness. Because if I'm pissed off, I'm only thinking about me. Yeah. So as an active alcoholic on Saturday Night Live, it's, woe is me, pour me a drink. So it's like, I didn't get my sketch on like, oh, this fucking blues, blah. Yeah. And that's, if I could do it again, I guess it's like the classic SNL lament. Oh, if I could be 53 in that 23-year-old body and just be like, okay,
I can do it.
I get to watch Nirvana rehearse. All right.
I know, you didn't even think of how great we had it, like see Nirvana in the cafeteria eating.
I never felt like they owed me anything, or even in stand-up. I remember I would talk to young comedians, Nirvana? Like they get all into the drama. Yeah, I was friends with them. Into the drama of stand-up. I'm getting fucked, man. I should be middling by now. And they put that guy getting all wound up in that.
But I think guys like you and me had a lot of success quickly. Like stand-up? It was sort of, Don't you think so? Like I
had a lot of stage fright. Well, there were no comedy clubs when I started. Literally, I opened for bands. That's really
the key to enjoying the benefits of the program.
Yeah.
That'll set you back.
Yeah, just opening for bands and getting annihilated, stuff. Normal stuff. But once I got into a club, a real club, not a honky-tonk bar like the other cafe and the Hate, I started to progress just because of the environment.
Yeah, well, your talent, though, you can't deny it. I think it's. Would you say that you rose quickly once you got into the right environment of clubs?
I would say that as quickly as I can, that I never was able to wrap my mind around, like, I'm one of those guys. Like, I'm going to be on TV, like Jerry Lewis or Jackie Gleason or something. And so I did a lot of shitty television.
Yeah.
Because they offered me Blue Thunder, and I was in a helicopter with James Ferrantino, who was coked out and drinking straight vodka, by the way. And
what else do you do in a helicopter?
I know. So it in retrospect, it seems like
I played Morongo Casino, and
the Morongo.
They sent the helicopter for me.
Fuck yeah!
And my pilot was Lorenzo Lamas.
Shut the fudge up.
And they sent
actor.
Yeah, at Van Nuys Airport, they're like, "This is your pilot. We call him Lorenzo Lamas." And I was like, yeah, he looks like him. And then we're like somewhere over like Ontario, and I look at him, it says Lamas on his headset.
to grind it into you?
Yeah, and I was like...
to make sure you ask him.
Yeah, only on my side. I was only on my side.
He has to switch it.
And I wanted to ask him, like, are you Lorenzo Lamas? But I didn't want to be that obvious. So I was like, So I was like, how much money do you think you've left on the table doing this? That was pretty smooth to ask him that, right?
Is that what you said?
Instead of saying like, are you?
What do you say?
And he goes, 95% of it. I'm like, okay, that's Lorenzo Lamas.
Yeah.
And so he's a helicopter pilot.
That's not an Uber driver.
He just digs it. And then he stayed. I said, come to the show. And he's like, I'm not supposed to. I'm like, come on. So he stayed for the show. And then we flew home. And somewhere over like the desert, he goes, do you mind if we stop for gas?
In the helicopter?
Who says no to that?
In the helicopter.
Like, I prefer, let's just ride it out.
We got
Give me
this.
the LAX.
Listen, what do you want, E?
Before Jay goes, I have to tell him one more thing. I auditioned for Jerry Maguire.
You did?
Yeah. For your part.
Really?
Yeah, Bob Sugar.
Interesting.
So who got it? Anyway. I remember.
You know who had it when we were auditioning?
Is that Cameron Crowe?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was already an offer to Owen Wilson because they had done, Jim Brooks and Owen Wilson had already done Bottle Rocket together. So by the time that, I don't know about you, but hey, Owen, when I do Owen Wilson,
we should do this part.
When I do Owen Wilson, it sounds like Jennifer Coolidge. I mean, I try to do it, but my mouth gets too tight, and I say we take it up a notch.
I do him telling a toddler he can't have any more candy.
Please, let me.
I don't think you should have any more candy.
I'm just doing Melissa.
I love that guy.
I do.
He's the
when
greatest.
I saw Haunted Mansion, I'm like, oh, he was on the screen. I'm like,
Owen Wilson.
I love this guy.
Woody Harrelson, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
3 Texas eccentrics. Put them in some movie, Hollywood.
I love those guys.
Here's my Colin Quinn when I said his friend just moved in with his girlfriend. I go, did he like moving in with his girlfriend? He goes, what do you think?
What do you think?
Anyway,
before we leave, I don't
do you
know.
think?
This is a quick podcast.
Yeah.
I got to tell you two Spade stories that are fantastic.
Oh, I love it.
Where I went back to see the show, and I was filming Picture Perfect with Jennifer Aniston, and I see Davey in the hallway, and he goes, "How do you like working with Jenny?" And I go, "I'm such a dick." I go, "I don't know. She smokes cigarettes," and he goes, "Let her down easy." Is that the most David joke ever?
Yeah, definitely.
that is exactly how it went.
Let her
That's
down
fucking
easy.
so
And then he did that David thing when he goes. And then we were at a strip club, and the dancer. I'm being generous. The dancer, the artist, you know, like when male bodybuilders they can flex their pecs.
Arnold used to do that. Yeah.
So this girl would do it. And so she's dancing for David, and she's going like doing the bodybuilder boob flex, and it's like, hey, and like 2 songs go by, and she circles back around, and she does it again, and David goes, "Seen it." She was like where's she gonna be? She just got humiliated.
What a
Like,
dick.
you were like, "Seen it."
Saying it. That's very David, yeah.
God, it reminds me. We went out. We got a picture with. Oh, whatever. Who cares? Okay, thank you, Jay. You have the best fucking stories. This is great.
I know.
Thank you for coming on, buddy.
Amazing.
This is great.
Jay Moore.
It's easy, right? Easy.
They're like, you could do it on Zoom. I'm like, no, I want to hang out.
No, it's fun to come in here. We like when people
we'll
come
do
in.
it we do a lot of Zooms, trust me.
A lot of Zooms.
A lot of Zooms, but we
Carsenio.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I understand that a crib is your house and your bed. I can't remember.
Just long fingers.
Gotta love.
A fucking wig.
Carsenio.
I'll show you something when we're done here.
Oh yeah.
Because it's Farley and Hartman on a Carson episode.
Was it? Or they Dom DeLuise and
Dom DeLuise,
Burt Reynolds.
where they flip out. Did you ever see that?
Yes.
Yo, you've
So
seen it.
fucking
Okay.
funny.
Do you remember when on the Scared Straight motivational speaker, we made an arrangement like when Farley falls through the wall of the prison, we were all going to run out. Then we all run out.
Oh,
and
like escape
We're all going to fall on top of Chris,
as a joke.
so he can't come back in and say live from New York.
Oh, that's funny.
So Chris goes through the wall. Me, you, Sandler, Schneider, and Timmy fall on top of Chris, and he just lifts us up like leave bags. Like he didn't.
He just peels us off.
No, like
It's not even a joke. He's
Not
just
even
like-
1 second was it
Was
didn't
wasted.
cost just live from New York. And he had the line where him and Martin Lawrence are selling us back and forth for cigarettes because that's the prison thing. And Farley was supposed to go, "Sold 7 bitches to the homie in the cornrows." And it said, so you're the camera. He goes, "Sold 7 bitches to the homie in the homie rows." Oops. He just looks down
it's
the
live?
barrel.
Looks in the camera.
Oops. Oh, I love you, Chris.
All right.
All right, thanks,
Jay.
boys.